SB.
The historic Los Angeles Coliseum, the scene. Temperature on the field, 90 degrees plus. Crowd of about 50,000. AFC West, San Diego, the surprise. 3-0. Kansas City has lost. That brought cheers from both Charger and Raider fans here at the Coliseum. Hello, everyone. Dick Enberg with Bob Trumpy. We think big in the West, and this is an early big game.
Dick, you're right. This is big. This is a reality check for both football teams. Consider for the Raiders, they only won 3 of their last 7 regular and postseason games. All 3 of those games were won against the Denver Broncos. Today, the Raiders got to find out if they can beat somebody else. And for the Chargers, they're 3-0 with a bunch of no-names. Every break that a team could get, they've gotten and taken advantage of it. They have the momentum. So reality hits one of these 2 teams today.
And Stan Humphries, quarterbacking the Chargers, is the #1 quarterback in rating in the league. And he said, just think, if we win against the Raiders today, 4-0, going to the bye week. Who would have thought that?
Yeah, and Dick, I think that's almost a thought that head coach Bobby Ross would prefer Stan Humphries not even consider. I mean, you're looking for incentive, but whenever you play the Los Angeles Raiders, you got to play them like they're bullies, and that is beat them up at the line of scrimmage. That's the Raiders game.
Art Shell, who's been in that black and silver of the Raiders for 27 years as a player, assistant coach, head coach. John Carney to kick it off to Rocket Ismail and Harvey Williams. Raiders embarrassed by the 49ers, embarrassed here by Seattle, and then won big at Denver last week to raise the hopes of the Los Angeles crowd. Carney gets it going. A short and overhand kick to Williams at the 14. Harvey across the 30 and out of bounds at the 34-yard line. The Raiders offense will be led by Jeff Hostetler. He's happy. 4 touchdown passes at Denver last Sunday. That's his career high. Big forward wall of Perry, the all-pro Wisniewski, Mosbar, Gogan, and Wilkerson. The offensive backfield. Tyrone Montgomery starts. We'll see Williams as well. Rathman, the ex-49er. Tim Brown, the leading pass receiver. Alexander Wright will stretch the defense with his speed. Andrew Glover, the tight end. In the 3 wide, James Jett, and he's all of that with his speed. And the Rocket Ismail come in. First down, Hostetler at his own 34. Montgomery, who is smothered at the 42-yard line. The defense in the San Diego white uniforms of the 1960s. Mims, Lee, Davis, they're big and quick, and O'Neal is the pass rusher. David Griggs, Dennis Gibson from Detroit, the All-Pro Junior Seau at the backers, Gordon and Harper from Seattle, Carrington and Richard, and Stanley Richard with a couple of long interception touchdowns. Van Horst and Castle come in their prevent or their extra nickel or dime defensive alignment. Second down. He clobbered at the line of scrimmage. Chris Mims in his 3rd year from Tennessee, along with Sean Lee and Reuben Davis with the tackle. No gain.
Typical of the Raiders start. First play, they try to hit something deep, go to the underneath guy, then come right back to the run. Last week, the Raiders rushed for 102 yards as a team, and it made everything else work for the Raiders offense.
3rd down, 1.5 yards again. Trip him up was Reuben Davis and Sean Lee, and then Junior Seau secured the tackle. So 2 tries, 2nd and short, 3rd and short, and no gain.
You can see how many, there's 6 individuals there that have outrushed the Los Angeles Raiders as a team. And this team, with its attitude, that is, we're the bullies, you've got to control that line of scrimmage and run the ball to be in the character of the Los Angeles Raiders. I was shocked to see Montgomery carry that ball. I mean, Harvey Williams is the bigger of the 2 tailbacks, and Ty Montgomery carried the ball for no gain.
Jeff Gossett leads the league in punting at 47.5 yards a kick first 3 weeks. Darian Gordon, the Stanford Cardinal, at the other end, and no punt. Whistle sound. They may have not gotten that off in the required time.
We have delay game on the offense. It's a 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Bernie Kukar is the chief official, the referee today. Boss Ross, Bobby Ross, been successful everywhere he is coached. Now 57 in his 3rd year with the Chargers. His first season 11-5, the AFC Western champs. Last year with Humphreys hurt, finished 8-8. Gossett will kick it again. Darian Gordon moves up to the 20-yard line. Good length on this. Gordon at his 11. Finds a seam at the 20. This could be trouble for the Raiders. 40. Gossett can't get it. 40. 30. A flag is down. Gordon is in the end zone for the Chargers. If it counts, a 90-yard touchdown. The flag is down at the 45 of the Raiders and another at the 36 of the Raiders. That was the line of scrimmage. Legal man downfield. Raiders touchdown San Diego. Wide open.
Dick, they have gotten, the Chargers have gotten unbelievable big plays so far this season. Excellent blocking. Gordon, who returned punch when he was in college. You see how spread out the Raider coverage team is. Gossett, the last man, grabs the face mask. Gordon down the sideline. Last week, a 73-yard interception return for a touchdown, a 99-yard touchdown throw, and here a 90-yard punt return.
That is the second longest in Charger history. You have to go back when they wore these uniforms in the 60s. The Leslie Speedy Duncan took 195 against the Jets. The point is good, and the Chargers electrified very few loyal fans in the close end of this Coliseum and stun this Raider crowd. Darian Gordon, 90-yard punt return touchdown, 7-0.
He makes that first move away from the defender, and all of a sudden is through the initial wave. Not great blocking, but Gossett grabs the face mask there. I don't think they threw the flag there, but
look at that. Rob Holmberg, he's a linebacker 240, almost caught him.
But I mean, San Diego comes to the Coliseum where they have a 3-game win streak against the Los Angeles Raiders, and your offense hasn't taken the field yet. You're up 7-0. Yeah. In your dreams the night before the game, that's the first dream you have as you go to bed. It comes true.
Darian Gordon told us that he never owned a car, never drove one, till he signed his bonus with the San Diego Chargers. Boy, he motored on that one, and eluding that first man downfield was the key, to the 90 yards.
And unusual in a punt return, there's not a flag. Normally there's just a little illegal push in the back that bring all these back, but Steve Ortmeyer is the special teams coach of the Los Angeles Raiders, and Art Shell, there's Ortmeyer right there, stunned, talking to Dan Land. What happened? Where was containment? How did he get through there?
It was a 53-yard punt taken back 90 yards officially by Darian Gordon.
Dick, that punt return for a touchdown on the road, that's like 14 points. I mean, that is huge. Just take some air out of the Raiders players and their fans.
Or like the lightning bolts on their uniforms, San Diego strikes quickly and from long range. He's had a busy opening of this afternoon. Sends it toward the Rocket at the 2. And he's hitting down shy of the 20. As Eric Bieniemy made the tackle. Now let's go to New York for this NFL update.
All right, Dick, at the Metrodome, the Vikings jumped off to a 28-0 lead. The Dolphins came back to tie, but Scotty Graham goes 3 yards here for the lead. Minnesota has added a field goal, and with under 2.5 to play, Minnesota's lead is 10 over the Dolphins. Dick and Bob.
And so the Raiders start at their 19-yard line, down 7-0. Their first drive, the underhanded pass complete for 8 yards, and then 2 carries for a -1. for Tim Brown.
Yeah.
That was no, that was Gordon coming up, and had he not bumped into Brown, it looked like he was going to get his second touchdown.
It looked like somebody at the line of scrimmage tipped the ball, Dick. Watch 94, Chris Mims. See if he gets his hand on the ball. No, it goes right through him. But you're right. If Brown doesn't get in the corner's way, that's 6 points again. Look at that.
Because he had reacted to the pass as if that was his all the way. Darian Gordon, 2nd and 10. Third and 10.
Dick, I think it's interesting to look at the Raiders offense here. They're calling a lot of things at the line of scrimmage. Now, the Charger defense is a pretty conservative defense. They don't give you a lot of different looks. But every time Hostetler has gone to the line of scrimmage, it appears to me he's got a couple of choices. And he's telling his team in the huddle, check with me at the line of scrimmage, and he's choosing either or. So far, he's not chosen correctly.
And one of the men in white that he checks immediately is number 55, Junior Seau. Who can ad lib at times, and he's creeping up on the line of scrimmage, and then backs off. 4th and 10. It's a free ball, but it goes out of bounds to the Raiders. No, they're going to call it an incomplete pass. His arm was just going forward, and Hostetler, who did not see Leslie O'Neal, gets up slowly.
Boy, that was a blind side.
O'Neal with 3.5 sacks this year, 12.5 last year. All-time career leader in sacks with over 80.
He's on Gerald Perry, the offensive tackle. When the coverage is good and the play breaks down, well, that's a shot right in the ribs. Hostetler does wear the rib pads, and it's a good thing, Dick.
Well, he saw Seau, so he's getting rid of the ball because of his presence. Did not feel O'Neal. Gossett heading toward the sidelines, and Gordon out of bounds. They weren't going to give him a chance to return that one. It'll be the Chargers ball at the 34-yard line, 47 yards on the punt. So Stan Humphries brings the offense on the field for San Diego for the first time with 3 minutes and 25 seconds gone in the quarter. Swain, Kokozo, good young guard Kokozo. Whitley starts for the injured Courtney Hall. First time Hall in his career, college or NFL, has not started. Joe Malinichik and the veteran Stan Brock complete the line. Natron Means, the leading rusher. Sean Jefferson, Mark Say. You see some unfamiliar names at wide receiver. Tony Martin for the Chargers. This is Means getting outside. Carolina Stars to the 40-yard line. A gain of 6. Derek Hoskins, the tackle. There's Courtney Hall. Played in 83 consecutive starts with the Chargers, 44 consecutive at Rice, and then they go back to high school before he didn't start a game. Harrison Ball, McLaughlin, and Smith, the front four for the Raiders. Their backers are Aaron Wallace, young Greg Biekert, and the defensive captain Winston Moss. Terry McDaniel, the AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week. Lionel Washington at the corners, Hoskins and Anderson, joined by Albert Lewis and James Trapp in the Pirate. Humphries overshoots his man at the 45-yard line. Greg Biekert on the coverage. We welcome those of you who have been watching the Cleveland Browns, Indianapolis Colts. The Browns go 3-1 with a 21-14 victory. Jimmy Testaverde with a couple of touchdown passes. This is Dick Enberg with Bob Trumpy and Hannah Storm at the Coliseum in Los Angeles, where Darian Gordon of the Chargers has returned to punt 90 yards for a score to give the Chargers an early lead. This is a 3rd down 4. Humphries completes it to Ronnie Harmon, the specialist on 3rd down, and Harmon with a 1st down at the 47 of San Diego. Mike Jones threw him out of bounds.
Short yardage always seems to be Ronnie Harmon on the reception, doesn't it?
He has more catches than any running back in the league combined the last 2 years.
In fact, he doesn't even want to talk about the fact that he's called a running back. He said, I'm not a running back. I don't run the ball. I'm a receiver.
But he says that with some cynicism. He said, I won't run the ball.
Absolutely.
He's hit by Eddie Anderson. So Anderson, the safety, comes in to make the stop.
Well, that shows me something. That's the strong safety of the Raiders up to support the run. That leaves certainly an option available for the San Diego Chargers. Here is Eddie Anderson right here on motion. He attacks the line of scrimmage. He's unblocked there to make the play on Natron Means, but that opens something else up. If you're going to put that 8th guy at the line of scrimmage to stop the run, the play action pass will be open.
Anderson, who leads the Raiders in tackles and in sacks with 2. 4-yard loss on the play. Screens it to Means with a blocker. Only a 2-yard gain up to the 45. Mike Jones, one of those in on the stop. He played at Missouri, and Winston Moss assisted. Moss from Miami of Florida.
And Dick, you can see one of the reasons why the Chargers are 3-0 is they protected the ball very well. Humphreys has yet to throw an interception, but they're very conservative in their approach. They either go for the whole thing deep, or they try the underneath stuff. The little screen pass to Natron Means, just good defense there, stops the Chargers.
They went for the whole banana last week in Seattle, 99.5 yards. Humphreys to Tony Martin, 3rd and long. Flags are down. And so is Humphreys as Chester McLaughlin charged through. Now we'll check Bernie Kokar's signal. Against the Raiders, so Humphreys will have it 3rd and about 6.
I think that's going to be Greg Beekert, the middle linebacker, coming on the blitz. He's going to come from...
On the defense, number 74. That's a 5-yard penalty and repeat 3rd down.
They call Nolan Harrison, 74, who was inside, but you also saw Beekert, 54, right there. Raiders' choice, obviously. As much pressure as they can up the middle on Stan Humphreys.
Raiders were 2nd in penalties to Houston, or first to Houston, 2nd last year, and they're tied with San Diego. Bobby Ross, not at all happy, told us about the number of San Diego penalties in the first 3 games. 3rd down and closer to 7. Wide open is again. No one picked him up, and Harmon out of bounds inside the 30-yard line at the 27. Rob Fredrickson, the rookie linebacker from Michigan State, on the coverage. 23-yard play.
Now, there's no way. Watch the pick that happens here. You see that just the congestion, and Rob Fredrickson has to go around all of that bunch of people. That's all the time that Humphreys needs to get it out to Ronnie Harmon. One thing about Ronnie Harmon is he handles this well, but they also set up these little plays for Ronnie Harmon beautifully, Dick.
Well, 2 appearances, 2 third down catches, 4 first down San Diego. 8 minutes left in the opening quarter. Maybe a yard and a half. Anthony Smith and others in the black of the Raiders, whose uniform has not changed in some 30 years. Just a slight change on the emblem on the helmet. There's the white background instead of the black, but the uniforms themselves are the same. On the left is the 1994 emblem, and on the right is the emblem of the 60s.
And the swords are just a little longer. Patch over the same eye, stripe on the helmet. It's a kinder, gentler Raider.
Don't tell Al Davison. 2nd down and 9. Humphreys. No surprise there as the Chargers giving a rollout pass look, and Chester McLaughlin and Jerry Ball, 2 300-pounders, just squeeze the ball carrier.
Chargers going to have difficulty with these 2 guys all day long. McLaughlin, great strength, low center of gravity, the same is true of Ball. And there's only so much pushing and shoving you can do up there to get these guys to move. This guy is in the top 5 for strength in the NFL.
3rd down and 10. Humphreys is 3 for 4. Over the middle to the 20-yard line, shy of the first down, to Mark Say. Say, who now has 10 catches this year, 3 for touchdowns. It'll bring up 4th down and about 3, and John Carney, the field goal kicker, sent on by Bobby Ross.
Ross, I believe, will always take the conservative approach. On the road, the opportunity for Carney to kick a field goal. He's been outstanding in his career. Yeah, I'll take a 10-point lead on the Los Angeles Raiders.
Carney, the old-time record holder in the NFL, 29 in a row. Held snap early last year. This is a 38-yard attempt. Gail Gilbert, the holder. and he spins it through. 3 more for the San Diego Chargers, who now lead 10-0 with just under 6 minutes left in the first quarter. Well, in the heat of Los Angeles on this September Sunday, a reminder that there's a lot of cool tonight on NBC. None cooler than the Iceman, who was found frozen after 1,000 years. Is he a hoax or the missing link? Find out on Unsolved Mysteries tonight, beginning at 7 Eastern, 6 Central on NBC.
6,000 years old? That rules out George Gervin, doesn't it? Former player for the San Antonio Spurs. George is not that old.
He's another Iceman. 44 yards, 10 plays. The drive for San Diego as you look across the city of Los Angeles to the Hollywood Hills. That famed sign near the Hollywood Bowl. Cahuenga Pass. One of the many stars here to cheer for the Raiders.
I'm sure he's a responsible adult, probably an accountant during the week.
I'm a lawyer. Raiders fall behind at home 10-0. Now there's a fan of James Trapp, not to be confused with a former Olympian. Yeah, that's the way you load up that boiler, boy. You got to bring your supply of liquids. That guy can dance without moving. You know, that all shakes and he didn't even move.
His nickname must be Jello. Jello.
All right, the Chargers 10-0. That's the Rocket Ismail along with Harvey Williams D. Down the middle. The Rocket at the 2. Dangerous in the open field, but trapped and caught at the 16, so that's twice. The Raiders unable to make it to the 20-yard line. Eric Castle made the tackle. Hostetler with his vertical game last year. Jed, who led the league with that 23-plus average. Alexander Wright, Tim Brown, the Rocket. Only the Rocket slightly ahead of his average per catch of a year ago.
These two, Jet and Wright, are almost non-existent so far in this offense. So I think between them they only have like 4 catches.
But you know that Haas is looking long. And Tim Brown -1.
Wow.
Yard in their 5 offensive plays. But Brown, the big play man, 18 catches and a couple of touchdowns this year. O'Neal, that ball almost intercepted as O'Neal is in on Hostetler. Wow. As Hostetler was throwing a little screen to the left and even unable to get a screen pass off.
Yeah, now this tackle, Gerald Perry is going to give ground grudgingly because the screen is right behind Perry. But that's 2 big hits O'Neal has put on Jeff Hostetler, and there's only so many hits that Jeff Hostetler can take of this kind.
Boy, Hostetler doing a pretty good job of getting that ball off so he didn't take the sack at the 2-yard line. O'Neal from Oklahoma State. He's a terror on the outside, and that's because they movement before the snap. O'Neal moved, and so did Steve Wisniewski. Now, against whom will they call the penalty? Now, with a new interpretation this year, if the defensive player comes into that neutral zone and then the offensive player reacts, they're calling it against the defense. But in this case, they ruled that the offense moved initially.
And you're going to see the guard come out of his stance. Yes, there wasn't. Well, that's a tough call.
76 on the offense prior to the snap.
That's a tough call.
5-yard penalty. Still second down.
There's no question that Wisniewski came out of his stance, and there has been good pressure on Jeff Hostetler.
Past 2 years, Simon Fletcher and Neil Smith of Kansas City with 29.5, and Leslie O'Neal a half a scratch away. Bruce Smith, and there's some big power pass rushers, and Leslie O'Neal right with the elite. Williams has his first chance to carry. Man, better start counting those white shirts the way they're playing defense. It seems like there's more than 11 out there.
There were 4 guys there. O'Neal took the inside move, made Williams go outside, and then 3 other guys right there to assist on the tackle. Billy Griggs, 92, is on the ground, but
he's all right. Gets up.
This is a very active defense at the perimeter. Sayal runs everywhere, and there's the architect, Bill Arnsparger.
Arnsparker, who of course goes back to Don Shula and the no-name defense, that undefeated season back in the early 1970s. Bill's now 67, one of the deans of all the coaches in the National Football League, recovering from prostate surgery last April, and happy to say very healthy.
Yes.
As he coaches today.
He also went through a transition, everyone will certainly remember, where he kind of got out of the game. He was an administrator for LSU, and then when Bobby Beathard called him 3 years ago and said, how about considering it? And of course Beathard was down there with Shula in Miami. Arnsparker's response was, I'm a coach, I need a sideline. He's one of those guys like Sid Gilman. You're going to have to drag him off that sideline, kicking and screaming.
Now Arnsparker wouldn't admit it to us, but in fact he wouldn't admit anything to us. He still is as tight-lipped and closed-mouthed as it comes. He won't even give you a clue of strategy, but they are more aggressive, the Chargers, this year, and they're going to blitz more.
Yes, they are.
On this situation, keep your eye on 55 Seau. He might be coming. He starts deep in the middle linebacker position. And that's out. 3rd and 13. They screen it up the middle. Good block. And that's going to be a first down for the Raiders. Their initial first down is Harvey Williams on the screen. Good call.
This was well sold by the Raiders. From behind the defense, watch Seau drop back, and he dropped so deep, and it sold so well by the offensive line. 3 guys out in front. Actually, Seau runs around 2 blocks, but Williams enough to make the first down. That's the Raiders' first down of the game.
Minnesota, after leading 28-0 and finding Miami tying them at 28, finally prevails 38-35. First down. Running the ankles at the 29. Here's a man 250 pounds who was a high school basketball star. He can run with any back in the league. And how tough he is.
He catches this from the inside out. Now, when you design plays, linebackers, especially middle linebackers, aren't supposed to be able to do that. He did not like the move from outside linebacker to inside linebacker, but you are looking at what I think is the best middle linebacker in the NFL today, Dick.
And he's only 25 years of age. He's playing home. This was his college home field in Southern California. And flags down as the handoff to Harvey Williams. Mr. Kukar.
Ball start on the offense, number 76 prior to the snap. That's the 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Steve Wisniewski. Well, the other 2 unbeaten teams in the AFC, the Miami Dolphins and the Kansas City Chiefs, have lost today. So at this point, the San Diego Chargers the only unbeaten team in the AFC. After the 5-yard penalty, 2nd and 15. To the 30-yard line, a gain of about 6. It'll be 3rd and 9. Dick Enberg, Bob Trumpy, Hannah Storm, welcome to the Coliseum in Los Angeles. For those of you who have watched that classic game as the Vikings prevail over the Dolphins 38-35. And the difference here, this play early, the first punt of the game, Darian Gordon slips through a couple of early tacklers and then goes 90 yards for a San Diego Charger touchdown. The 3rd play for touchdown of 90 yards or more by San Diego this year. John Carney then with a 38-yard field goal. It's 3rd and 9, 2:41 left. And the throw is over Andrew Glover, and once again Hostetler being flushed by the pass pressure from San Diego.
And there's also great zone coverage by the Chargers defense, and the inability so far the Raiders to run again has got the Raiders in this spot. The zone defense is dropping deep, and Hostetler has very few options available to him.
Gossett with 2 long kicks that are even better than his league leading average of 47.5. Gordon at the other end of the 25. Another boomer toward the sidelines. Gordon sidesteps and gets to the 27-yard line. And we'll take a break here with 2:24 remaining in the opening quarter. 10-0 San Diego.
This is one long game.
They even ran out of food.
The fans must be hungry.
I'll tell you about hungry.
When it's gotta be good and it's gotta be now. Pick up the phone, we're gonna knock you out.
Call for a large 2-topping crunchy thin crust pizza and get a medium 1-topping pizza free.
Did you see that?
Rangers, Cherokees, Broncos, Explorers, Pathfinders, Blazers. Any pickup or 4x4, on road or off. Boy, do we have a tire for you. The tough LTX Light Truck Series from Michelin.
At the Honda factory in Ohio, every Accord is given a bath before it's painted, a zinc phosphate bath. It helps fight rust and corrosion over the life of the car. Now, why do we go to such lengths? That's why.
And welcome back to the Coliseum. 10-0 San Diego. Dick Enberg with Bob Trumpy and Hannah Storm. The question we asked at the start of the telecast, will the Raiders be able to keep that offense that they showed in Denver, or will we see the Raider offense of the first two games?
Well, to the first part of this game, Dick, they've shown nothing but finesse. They've thrown screens. They've tried to get things out in the flat. There's good pressure on Jeff Hostetler. So it looks like last week's performance against Denver was the aberration. They still must establish some control of the line of scrimmage with the running game. They've not come close to that yet.
In part due to some frenetic play by San Diego Chargers. They may be grossly underscored defensively. Stan Humphries takes over at his own 26. Throws over the middle, and it's the tight end, Dwayne Young, who catches few. In fact, that's only his second catch of the year. His best ever season was last year when he grabbed 6.
And one of the best things about Stan Humphries here is he looks all over. He's looking outside. He hasn't really got a favorite receiver. So he does appear, when you watch him on tape, to scan the entire field for an open receiver, whatever that guy's number is.
He said, I consider myself a gambler, but I'm really maturing. Said, I'm not going to take the chances that I did even a year or 2 years ago. Fire system underneath, and Nathan Means, and he's to the 36. That'll be very close to a first down. Winston Moss on the coverage, and using short pass plays. Humphries is 6'4'7", leads the NFL passing corps in efficiency coming in.
You're right. Duncan and Dinkin here, just taking what the defense will allow, not being impatient, knows he's on the road. Admitted to us last night, look, I'm protecting the ball. This kid has yet to throw an interception, Stan Humphries, which is what Bobby Ross likes as a head coach.
Chargers wearing the uniforms of the 60s. Their first year in the AFL was right here. They were the LA Chargers, played at the Coliseum. Humphries uses a timeout with 1:04 left in the opening quarter. San Diego impressively off to a 10-0 lead.
It's 1954 at the University of Milan, and a young man gets a C in mathematics, which causes him to lose his scholarship and take up sidewalk drawing, which spawns a worldwide movement in art that inspires a burgeoning painter, which leads to the opening at the museum that caused the traffic jam that's making you late for work. With all that can go wrong in your day, isn't it nice to know you can depend on your Honda Civic?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
Miramax Films asks the question, what do 2 hitmen, 1 girlfriend, a boxer, and the secret suitcase have in common?
That's a good question.
The answer, they're all part of the most electrifying film of the year. John Travolta, Samuel L. Jackson, Uma Thurman, Harvey Keitel, and Bruce Willis. You won't know the facts until you see the fiction. Pulp Fiction, rated R. Starts October 14th everywhere. Get it.
Debbie, these shots are fabulous. Beautiful, Debbie.
Better than the last time, Tony?
Absolutely. It's my job to make sure people look good. A few weeks ago, while doing test shots with Debbie, I noticed something. Dandruff. So I told her about Head & Shoulders. You see, regular shampoos merely rinse flakes away, so they could come back. But look, Head & Shoulders helps stop flakes from even forming. See the difference? Yeah, picture perfect. Head & Shoulders turns dandruff problems into beautiful hair.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by American Honda, who has been making quality automobiles in America for the past 11 years. By Domino's Pizza. Call Domino's now. Buy a large 2-topping crunchy thin crust pizza and we'll give you a medium pizza free. By Mita, maker of reliable copiers and plain paper fax machines. The times demand Mita. And by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Nothing quenches that deep down body thirst better than Gatorade.
Minute 4 remaining in the quarter. 10-0 San Diego. First down play at their 37. Balance gets it off, and it's a first down at the Raider 48-yard line to Mark Say. Humphreys being swallowed by McLaughlin, just did get it off, and one of the keys to San Diego's success, a healthy arm for Stan Humphreys.
This is also a very nice move by this young man. He gets inside line of Washington, and again Humphreys right in the breadbasket. Humphreys is given little credit for how accurate he is, but now that his shoulder is healthy, he throws for a high percentage of completions.
7 for 8 today, 65 yards. 14 on that last throw to Say. Jefferson in motion, and the pass to Nathan Means, and the big guy is inside the 45 to the 44. As the final seconds tick away, Stan Humphreys, who started his collegiate career at Northeastern Louisiana behind Bubby Brister, and then went on to the Washington Redskins, about his third pick. 10-0. End of the opening quarter in LA.
Why do more Honda owners come back to Honda? Car after car after car. It could be state-of-the-art engine technology, or extraordinary handling, or maybe it's the feeling that Honda is one car maker that won't let you down.
Garth Brooks' collection, Garth's Favorites, is available now at McDonald's. Each full-length CD is unbelievably priced at just $5.99. Each cassette, $3.99. When you buy any extra value meal or large sandwich, hurry to McDonald's. They're going fast.
Today's engines need Castrol GTX, the motor oil that provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. Because if your oil breaks down, what's next? Castrol GTX, engineered for greater protection against breakdown.
Excuse me, Shutty!
In the NFL, there's only one sports drink, and it's gotta be Gatorade.
If you missed today's NFL Live, you missed Joe Gibbs on the objectives of the prevent defense.
The coach is trying to prevent scores. He doesn't want to give up anything deep. He wants to keep the clock running and tackle all the receivers in bounds.
And Iron Mike's reaction.
I hate the prevent defense.
Next Sunday, 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 Pacific.
Well, the first quarter just a memory here at the Coliseum, and thanks for the memories. Bob Hope, guest of Alex Manos, the owner of the San Diego Chargers, watching from the press level, just a couple of booths down from us. What's getting close to greatness, Bob?
Yes, it is. A long time ago, Mr. Bob, there's Alex Manos. Bob Hope was known as Packy East when he was a fighter. Did you know that?
That's right, Cleveland, Ohio.
Packy East.
They're old golf buddies, Mr. Spanos and Mr. Hope. Start the second quarter. Stan Humphreys trying to elude the rush and can't. He's down at the 48. Finally securing the tackle, Jerry Ball, the former Lion, former Brown.
Good pressure by Jerry Ball. It's a rollout, and there's really no receiver available. The guy that really does the great job is Anthony Smith. He keeps, we'll see it here. Watch 94 Anthony Smith right here. He keeps Humphreys in the pocket. And when he pulls up, that allows Jerry Ball to make the sack. But Humphreys does make the right choice. He doesn't try to force it in there.
Jerry Ball, just a little over 6 feet tall and 300 pounds. He said, if I was 6'5", they'd put me outside and pay me $6 million. Boy, I could rush the passer. Timeout is called just into the second quarter.
KFC presents the Colonel's Playbook. What play will the Dolphins call on 4th and 5? Should they kick the field goal, try a run by Keith Byers, or a pass by Dan Marino?
Please be advised, you may need a bigger TV to hold all this food. Introducing the new Mega Meal from KFC, the biggest meal deal America has ever seen. A whole Colonel's Rotisserie Gold, or 8 pieces of original recipe chicken. Potato wedges, Kentucky nuggets, mashed potatoes and gravy, coleslaw, biscuits, even a whole apple pie. All this for just $14.99. You couldn't even get 2 large pizzas for that. No wonder we call it the Mega Meal.
A lot of food, not a lot of money. You can't beat that.
Kick, run, or pass. On 4th and 5, the Dolphins chose a pass from Dan Marino to win their first game in 1994. The winning call from the Colonel's Playbook.
It's 1954 at the University of Milan, and a young man gets a C in mathematics, which causes him to lose his scholarship and take up sidewalk drawing, which spawns a worldwide movement in art that inspires a burgeoning painter, which leads to the opening at the museum that caused the traffic jam that's making you late for work. With all that can go wrong in your day, isn't it nice to know you can depend on your Honda Civic?
Tuesday in all-new Wings, meet Helen's sexy sister.
Hello?
Then an all-new Martin Short says cheers to Happy Hippo George Wendt.
Surprised?
And an all-new Frasier, Eddie becomes a dad.
Stop staring at me!
Then on an all-new Larroquette, someone pops the big question.
Who is Yo-Yo Ma?
Television's greatest new night of comedy, NBC Tuesday.
Our friends from Goodyear providing the aerial pictures. Goodyear Blimp Eagle, based in Carson, California. Looking down on the Coliseum on a very warm September Sunday. It's over 90 on the field. 3rd down and long for Humphreys. And he wants to go long. No one open. Now Sean Jefferson is all alone, but he can't get there. Eddie Anderson held him up, and the flag is down. Jefferson trying to come back to the ball. He had beaten Anderson by about 15 yards. The ball not thrown deeply enough, but the flag down.
Eddie Anderson had no idea what was going on.
It's a 50-yard penalty if interference, and that's the call.
Well, to begin with, somebody dropped coverage on Jefferson completely. Look, the corner just stops.
Number 33. We will place the ball at the spot on the ball on the 1-yard line. First down.
It was Lionel Washington who dropped the coverage, and then Eddie Anderson had his back to the quarterback, which is a cardinal sin for defensive backs. That's an obvious call. Now, there might also be some conversation about uncatchable, but if Eddie Anderson's not there, Jefferson comes right back to make the reception.
A 90-yard punt return for a touchdown and a 50-yard interference call, and the Raiders, #1 consistently through the last decade in penalties, are piling up the numbers again this year. Another timeout.
So I didn't notice my wife got her hair cut, so she said...
You never noticed anything.
I noticed that cheeseburgers at Burger King have 75% more beef than McDonald's. They come with fries and a drink for only $1.89. So she said, maybe you should go live there.
Burger King. Get your burger's worth.
Napa, we're the most complete source for auto parts, and all Napa parts are backed by a nationwide warranty program. No wonder more Americans trust Napa to keep their vehicles running.
Keep America running.
Gotcha! Even if you think you bought a high-tech fax machine, your office may still be in the Stone Age. Only one company uses the latest laser imaging technology in every plain paper fax machine it makes. Mita. To survive in the future, the times demand Mita. Call 1-800-ABC-MITA.
It's time once again to sign up for the 94 Gatorade Punt, Pass, and Kick competition. It's open to boys and girls ages 8 to 15 with local competition held in every NFL city. No charge for participation. Call 1-800-NFL-SNAP.
Dick, both safeties bite on the crossing pattern run here. Both wide receivers are deeper than the coverage. Stan Humphries actually had his choice. He throws it to Jefferson, and there the interference is going to be called. First and goal, Chargers. Raiders, bad coverage there.
Ball inside the one. Natron means to the goal line and not in. Good goal line defense. Andre Bruce, 56, and 29 Albert Lewis there in the corner to help out the beef inside.
Did I notice the up back there is Rockhead?
Yes, Steve Hendrickson.
Steve Hendrickson, who spent the summer here with the Los Angeles Raiders, signed a free agent contract with the Raiders.
The 34, Hendrickson, who can play tight end, can play be a running back. He scored, remember the playoffs, scored a touchdown against Kansas City 2 years ago. Former 49er, former Raider, they picked him up as a free agent to give him some knees, trying to get outside. He does. Touchdown, San Diego.
Nice move. Just froze the defense when they made that little dip inside. Then the acceleration outside to outrun the defense to the corner.
Natron said with the bye week coming up, he's off to Charlotte. Said got to do some shopping for some land to build himself a new home. So be aware, realtors, back there in North Carolina, this man is ready to buy.
He wanted to buy his mom a new house last year, and she said, I'm not moving out of the neighborhood. So he remodeled her house to her specifications, and now he's looking somewhere around Charlotte. Right? He said he wants to live in them basketball players.
Yep, he loves the NBA. 7 carries, only 7 yards for Means, but 6 points. Carney's extra point try out of Gilbert's hold, and San Diego 3-0 in the West. Leads here in Los Angeles 17-0.
Deems May 88 with the lead block along with Hendrickson, and watch Means, that little dip draws the defensive back up, then he comes to the corner for the easy 6. Big lead, Chargers.
Sunday. It's the day the world takes a breather or gets a chance to catch up. It's our Sunday best and long Sunday drives. There's one truck designed for a day like today, Ford F-Series. With the safety of a standard airbag and rear anti-lock brakes, a spacious interior, and the kind of toughness that never takes a day off. More reasons why Ford F-Series is the best-selling truck 17 years running, and that's a lot of Sundays.
A few weeks ago, while doing some test shots with Debbie, I noticed something. Dandruff. So I told her about Head & Shoulders. Unlike regular shampoos, Head & Shoulders help stop flakes from even forming. You see the difference? Head & Shoulders turns dandruff problems into beautiful hair.
Your own minor league baseball team, roughly $1 million. The Big Shaver, roughly 18 cents. What do they have in common? They're both worth every penny.
This is one long game.
They even ran out of food.
The fans must be hungry.
I'll tell you about hungry.
When it's gotta be good and it's gotta be now. Pick up the phone, we're gonna knock you out.
Call for a large 2-topping crunchy thin crust pizza and get a medium 1-topping pizza free.
Did you see that?
Gotta be
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Domino's Pizza. Call Domino's now, buy a large 2-topping crunchy thin crust pizza, and we'll give you a medium pizza free.
For the San Diego Chargers, only 2 offensive possessions have scored a field goal and a touchdown, helped by the 50-yard interference call, as Means with a payoff punch, and then of course the 90-yard Darian Gordon punt return that started the scoring today. Open up a 17-0 lead with 13:37 left in the first half. Rocket and Alexander Wright is back this time as Carter picks it. To Alexander Wright. Wright from Dallas. He's got blockers and room. And out of bounds near midfield. Carney pushed him out at the 48-yard line. A 44-yard return for Alexander Wright.
My father used to say that he started Gramercy Press so that the written word would always have a home. And that mission hasn't changed. But it's 1994, and the era of Charles Dickens is over. We use computers, and we still mail manuscripts around the world. Marta still has 12 stacks of reference books on her desk for fact-checking. Curtis still prints a catalog every quarter and drops them in the mailbox. And our most advanced form of communication is Darlene's lovely little message slips. We've been talking to MCI, and this is not about the phone bill, but we're going to make some changes. Not in our ideals, but in the tools that we use.
Everybody had an opinion.
I think it's a great idea. We are finally waking up.
Everything I need at the push of a button, I'd like to see that.
What's wrong with Charles Dickens?
It's appropriate. Art is constant. Tools change.
Digital technology is the future. Whether you're selling books or bagels.
We'll talk.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by the totally new Ford Contour, a world car for the 21st century. By Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires. By Network MCI Business, install it in your office today. And by Tostitos brand restaurant-style tortilla chips.
Chargers on their sidelines are those power fans offering a little breeze. 17-0 lead as the Raiders with good field position on the kick return. See some of the mist from the Raiders sidelines cooling device. Start from the 48. Averaging only 2.7 yards per play against San Diego in this first game. They're looking for something big. Good protection this time. Down the middle, incomplete off Tim Brown. Appeared to be open.
Thrown behind him. Brown, probably the Raiders' best receiver, but he's relegated to the crossing patterns. They allow Jet and Wright to go deep. And Tim Brown has got to take the heavy work across the middle. That time Hostetler threw a little bit behind him.
And the offensive line gave Hostetler his best protection of the game for that pass. That's the kind of help that Hostetler needs to look for the long bomb, which has been basically absent in the first 3 games this season for the Raiders. Wentz misses. Montgomery dragged down at the 48-yard line in San Diego territory. Boy, did that say out. Shoot through there.
That's why he is the best middle linebacker in the game, because he can get through the gap before anybody can lay a glove on him. He's almost there to take the handoff. Tom Rathman, 44, comes back. There's no way that play is designed for Rathman to go back and make that block. But the veteran does, and just picks him off of the ball carrier.
And that block was worth almost 4 yards.
Yes.
More than that, he gained 4, and he would have lost about 3 or 4. Chargers crowd 9 men on the line of scrimmage. Flags are down. And Brown, incomplete at the 34. Fans want interference. Darian Gordon. Here that the Chargers leaned into the neutral zone.
On the offense, number 8.
Oh my, they won't like
to the
that.
snap. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Well, so far the Raiders have shown one little composure. When you would expect a veteran offensive line, when they're threatened at the line of scrimmage, to stand in there. Let's see if we can see at the top of the screen who makes the movement. Oh, it's the receiver. Is that Tim Brown, 81?
Yes.
He's looking in there at the football. That's just a lack of concentration.
So the Raiders 6 penalties, 75 yards. No penalties for San Diego. 3rd and about 11. Screen that worked the first time and does again. Harvey Williams to the 40. A first down for the Raiders. Laterals. And it's James Jett down to the 25. Was that a lateral or a fumble in the air?
Dick, I think it was a fumble. The screen, the inside screen has worked for the Los Angeles Raiders. There's Junior Seau. When is it stripped through? Well, he's rolling over. It was pulled out by the San Diego Chargers. Well, they're lucky to get Jet on the ground. With that kid's speed, you can't miss one tackle against James Jet.
Well, maybe that's the break the Raiders need. A fumble goes for extra yardage. Now it's Montgomery on the corner. And out of bounds, Dwayne Harper, former Seattle Seahawk, over there to make the play.
Now, last week against the Denver Broncos, Ty Montgomery supplied the big play in the opening series. I should say in the opening quarter, that catch from Jeff Hostetler that he runs in for the touchdown. And the Raiders told us, look, we're just a big play or two away from being all right, being fine.
5 yards on the play. 2nd and 5. Hostetler in trouble. Oh, gets away. Great job by the Haas.
Here comes Junior.
And he's to the 20-yard line. No gain as Seau makes the stop. Let's go to New York and Greg Gumbel.
All right, Dick, and let's go to the Silverdome in Pontiac, where Drew Bledsoe goes on top, 42 yards. Terrific catch by Vincent Brisby. That set up a Marion Butts touchdown. That and a field goal has the Patriots on top of the Lions, 10-0 in the second, Dick.
Marion Butts, the man that Natron Means has replaced. Butts traded to New England, and of course Rod Bernstein a year before traded by Bobby Beathard to Denver. So Butts was good enough that Bernstein traded, and Means good enough that they could afford to let Butts go to New England. Timeout called by the Los Angeles Raiders, who look at 3rd down and 5 from the Charger 20 when we come back.
My first facts. What do you make of that?
Was gibt es hier?
With CD-ROM, Message Center, integrated television, and speakerphone, the compact Presario is powerful enough to run a small business.
Hello?
Hi, Adam. It's Mom. Where's Dad?
He's watching TV.
And simple enough to expand a child's horizons.
What are you doing?
Running to facts.
Oh, really?
Introducing Ford Contour. Gold, a world car for the 21st century. Example, the advanced Quadrolink rear suspension. It was designed to allow rear wheels to adjust in sync with the front, giving Contour precise control in cornering and braking. Then it was put through 2 million miles of rigorous testing just to make sure. The totally new Ford Contour, a world car for the 21st century.
If you don't replace your air and oil filters regularly, you might as well drive your car off a cliff, because dirt can really mess up an engine. Fram Extra Life air filters and Fram Extra Guard oil filters keep out dirt best to protect your engine. Fram, America's #1 premium brand. Pay a little now or a lot later. Get a $2 rebate on Fram air filters at participating retailers.
Next Sunday, there's more great NFL action on NBC. Boomer Esiason and the high-flying Jets take on the Cleveland Browns. Or the Buffalo Bills battle the Chicago Bears. Or Rick Meyer returns to Indy as the Seahawks face the Colts. The NFL on NBC.
Love to stay. Gotta run.
Dick, last play, only 2 receivers in the pattern by the Raiders. You have Rathman drop through, but when Hostetler can't find one of those 2 available, he has no choice but to run around and try to gain positive. There's 6 Chargers to cover 2 Raiders down the field. And that's why the sack took place.
So with the sack, and Hostetler tries to get rid of it. It's intercepted by Eric Castle. Eric Castle to the 25-yard line. Had the whistle sounded. Castle, the second year back from Oregon, with his first career interception, if it counts. The official waving timeout back at the 25, which would indicate the whistle blew that Hostetler was in the grasp.
Dick, there's a safety blitz. Stanley Richard is also in here to flush. There you see 24. He runs into Junior Seau.
Called in the grass, moving backwards. The play was dead. Right there. There is no interception.
Boy, that's a break for the Raiders.
Yes,
and now we'll have a long field goal try by Jeff Jager.
Leslie O'Neal closing again. That's another big hit on Jeff Hostetler.
And Seo, it's just hard to believe he went through all last year without a single sack. With the one today, he's got 3.5 for the year. He has 2 today, almost a third there. 43-yarder by Jager, and the Raiders are on the board. So Hostetler's toughness saved that possession for the Raiders, the whistle, and it's worth 3 points. Chargers lead at 17-3, 9.5 to go in this opening half. Let's go down to the field and Hannah Storm.
Well, Dick, earlier you referred to this misting device above the Raiders bench over here. They've been using it for about 3 years. They said it makes it 20 degrees cooler down here on the field, and it's above 90 degrees now. But the Chargers declined to use it, and defensive end Leslie O'Neal told me why. He said last year they used the misting device and made their uniforms wet, and when they went out on the hot field, the moisture rose, and all those guys on the Chargers team that wear shields in their face masks couldn't see because they were fogged up. So they decided to suffer in the heat, and now I think Leslie O'Neal and his mates are seeing just fine out of those face mask shields. Dick?
Hannah, it says only 81 degrees on the Coliseum thermometer. It sure felt a lot warmer down there before the game. What do you think?
Yeah, Dick, this thermometer, no matter what the temperature is down here, seems to always be stuck right on that 81, 82 degree mark.
Well, the LA Chamber of Commerce, after all, it's always beautiful here, and it is a fantastic day. Even quite clear, not much smog as we look out to the Hollywood Hills over the rim of the Coliseum. It's been seismically refurbished and reinforced. Raiders have rookie Andre Coleman deep. Kansas State 17-3 as Jager hits a end over end to the 5. Coleman finds a seam and is in the clear at the 30. Can anyone catch him? 40 and from behind, dragged down at the 42. And it took the speed of Alexander Wright to get him. Another big kick return for San Diego. 52 yards, 90-yard punt return for a touchdown by Gordon in the first quarter.
Big special teams are the personality of any particular football game. The punt return by the Chargers to start the game, this kickoff return, they are taking all phases of the game to heart today against the Los Angeles Raiders. The Raiders' special teams to this point have not played well.
Coleman had a 48-yard return earlier, so that's the longest of his young NFL career. And the Chargers and Humphreys set up shop at the Raider 43. Good protection for Humphreys. Comeback pattern to Mark Say, and Say has a first down at the Raider 27. Lionel Washington, the tackle. 17-yard play.
Say is a kid that you can certainly root for, all he's been through, but Washington on the outside, he's looking through the receiver to the quarterback. Great acceleration. Whenever you look at Mark Say, the years he spent with the San Francisco 49ers, you see a lot of Jerry Rice in his patterns, don't
John
you?
Taylor,
yes.
too, yeah.
A good student knows when he's got a great teacher, and Say had John Taylor and Rice at San Francisco.
3 catches today, gives him 12 for the year, and here's Bieniemy, the former Colorado star, giving Natron Means a breather. He's to the 22.
Dick, we want to go in the grid here to the big interference penalty against the Los Angeles Raiders. Last time the Chargers had the football. In the yellow circle is the slot receiver, the 2 safeties in red. When he runs the crossing pattern, they both bite, which allows the outside receivers top and bottom of the screen wide open. Eddie Anderson with the interference. San Diego first and goal, they do score.
In the grid. Bieniemy on the sweep. And Greg Beaker, the middle linebacker, traversing well to make the tackle at the 21 as we send a pass to New York.
All right, Dick, at the Silverdome in Pontiac, Barry Sanders off the big night in Detroit. He hasn't lost much, has he? This one goes 35 yards, his first touchdown of the season, 67 yards rushing on the day so far. New England pulls, well, now Detroit pulls to within 3. It's 10-7, Dick.
Greg, thanks. Barry Sanders, what a week for him. Monday night and comes right back on Sunday with that run.
And with Natron Means on the sideline taking a breath.
8 for 9 for Humphreys as he sets up, scrambles, and fights close to a first down at the 16-yard line. Humphreys, 223 pounds, running like a fullback.
Is very proud of the fact and is willing to tell you immediately, I hang around with the offensive linemen. I'm a blue-collar guy. I'm not one of these glitzy Hollywood types.
I thought somebody might have taken it away from him there. In fact, Nolan Harrison had his hands on the ball, and it's a matter of the spot, and it's a generous spot inside the 16, and that's a first down.
Yeah, again, though, protecting that football, not throwing it up for a possible interception so close to the goal line.
6:33 left in the first half. 17-3 San Diego. It's the enemy at the 10, and the enemy is to the 6. First and goal. If that is a first down, it'll be close.
Now, this young man's a great story. Again, with Bobby Beathard in the salary cap, the enemy was cut in April because of the salary cap, re-signed in June, admits that he was kind of a wild child, got married, settled down, and he is the one who spells Natron memes, but they think just as a kind of a relief running back, very good for the Chargers.
Not quite a first down, second and less than a yard. The knock on the enemy was that he fumbled. Whoops, and he does. Muffs that toss at the 11-yard line. It'll be third and about 5. Biekert there to make sure for Los Angeles.
But was it on Bieniemy? Yeah, there's no question. This ball is right in his breadbasket, but he is looking for that lead blocker.
Nothing wrong with the toss.
Yeah, nothing wrong with the toss.
He has small hands and did have troubles with fumbling at Colorado, but nevertheless, one of the great rushers in collegiate football, and left Colorado with almost 4,000 yards, their all-time rusher. And Humphreys has used another timeout. That's all 3 spent now by the San Diego quarterback. Wants to be certain. We'll see what the call is when we come back.
Liberty Mutual presents Legends of the Game. He played with the raw power of a natural cataclysm and a seemingly inexhaustible supply of malice. A fearsome hitter, he was a monster of the Midway and a member of the 1960s Team of the Decade. Who was this legend?
Oh, come on. No.
Great. The issue is auto theft. It's out of control. Liberty Mutual is the first insurer to give police tracking devices that get stolen cars back 95% of the time. And these devices also help catch the thieves. So you both get what you deserve. Liberty Mutual, facing the issues that face our customers.
Doug Atkins' physique made him a giant, but it was his singleness of purpose which made him a true legend of the game.
This is a bucket of water, and this is the new Goodyear Eagle AquaTread for performance cars. A wide performance tire with twin aqua channels to sweep water away for outstanding wet traction. New Eagle AquaTread, only from Goodyear.
It still bugs me that I waited to try Old Spice High Endurance just because I thought all deodorants worked the same. Dumb. This proves it's the best. Try it. If you don't think it's the best, call 1-800-PROVE-IT and they'll buy you a stick of yours. Take the High Endurance Challenge from Old Spice. I did.
Tonight on Unsolved Mysteries, the Iceman, a hoax or missing link to man's past. All you Unsolved Mysteries tonight at 7, 6 Central on NBC.
Tonight. Who are they? What do they want? The aliens are back, and this time they brought their friends with them. Stop! All new Sequest NBC tonight.
Andre Coleman's 52-yard kickoff return after the Jaeger field goal, setting the Chargers up in Los Angeles territory, and it's now 3rd and 5 just outside the 10-yard line. Eric Bieniemy, a couple of good runs, and then Muff the toss on the sweep. He's out. Ronnie Harmon, 3rd down pass-catching specialist, is in, lined up just outside the left tackle, and that's Sean Jefferson in motion. Humphreys has completed 8 in a row. 9 in a row to Deans May, his first ever NFL catch in his 3 seasons in San Diego, but it's not going to be enough for a first down. Bobby Ross says, how far is it today? 17-3, go for it. And there's nothing that fans like more when their team goes for it. No, I guess not. It looked like that was a signal for let's go for it. But he said, let's go for 3.
Yeah. Again, Bobby Ross, in all his years of coaching, very conservative. He's always going to take the points, I believe, Dick.
He's just inside the 15, so a 24-yard field goal attempt by Carney. Gilbert, his new holder, the backup quarterback. And just did go through. It looked as if one of the Raiders had his hand on it. So the Chargers, using the long kick return, move up 20-3.
If we can see who got their hand up, and if there was contact from behind it, it's Andrew Glover, the tight end, who gave the former basketball player at Grambling and also a track athlete. He was a triple jumper, 6'6", gets his hand on the ball. But Carney, who, by the way, John Carney kind of paints this picture as he's a normal human being. We hear from Hendrickson that John Carney is incredibly superstitious. I mean, even to the point where Hendrickson had to leave the room when a certain TV show came on, and he had certain kinds of ice cream he would eat the night before a game. And wears the earplugs. You know, these kickers, they try to paint this picture.
Well, they're like hockey goalies. You know, they walk on the other side of the street.
That's not a
goes on one side.
But that's not a good endorsement. I mean,
John, who's a surfer as well, single and living in San Diego. He certainly appreciates what he's doing now after cleaning out beer draft systems when he was cut 6 times after leaving Notre Dame.
Well, actually, after you're cut 6 times and you find something that works, I think you allow the superstitions.
Well, the Chargers in this first half have had only 3 offensive possessions and come away with 2 field goals and a touchdown, and then of course got the punt return touchdown on the first touch by San Diego of the game. And here's a man who could take it all away at any time. Rocket, he's on the far side, and Alexander Wright near side. Wright saved the touchdown on the kick return by Coleman. It's the right side, 2. Right into the waiting arms of 3 Charger tacklers. A reminder, the comedies that the critics and the audiences dearly love. Wings and Frasier. They move now to Tuesday. Tuesday for Wings and Frasier, 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Frasier at 9 Eastern, 8 Central this Tuesday on NBC. Jeff Hostetler had a career game in Denver a week ago, 10 for 15. Well, that's not right. He had 4 touchdown passes, and oh, that's in the first half. Excuse me, first half. 3 touchdowns, finished with 4 as Bieniemy shaken making the tackle on the kick return.
Now, the other thing about Jeff Hostetler, you looked at his numbers there last week and this week. Last week they had an awful good running game to go with those numbers. Gave him separation from the defensive line. Little or no running game to this point in the first half.
Tyrone Montgomery and Rathman split behind Hostetler. Wide open. Tim Brown. And he's at the 46-yard line of San Diego of the Raiders. Darian Gordon pushes him out of bounds. Brown has a way of getting away from the enemy by a good piece of real estate.
But this is just drop coverage again by Gordon. We saw the Raiders do it. Here the Chargers do it. Darian Gordon, 21, maybe trying to do a little too much up there to look for the underneath receiver. They got his coverage of Tim Brown.
Tim Brown came in with 18 catches and 2 touchdowns. 24 yards on that play, his first catch today. Glover, the tight end, shifts to the other side, and Hostetler uses a timeout with 3:34 to go. And no commercial commitment here, so that gives us an opportunity to look at Kevin Gogan, the former Dallas Cowboy, a big man that is more than a number. They call him Pumbaa, the character of the warthog in the Lion King. Kevin Gogan, he'll clean up a table for you, and lives up in the woods outside of Seattle, Washington.
Falls City, Washington. Out there, he's got a gravel road up to his house. He's the king of the pickup truck. He has 2 Super Bowl rings from the Dallas Cowboys. Started his career as a tackle and now plays guard for the Los Angeles Raiders, and apparently is one of the real cut-em-ups on the Los Angeles Raiders. He's not afraid to drop a joke here and there.
Well, he grew up in San Francisco as a big baseball fan. He was a first baseman. Loved Willie McCovey, who wouldn't in San Francisco. Said they had a unique way of sneaking into the 49er games.
Yeah, there's a big fence around Candlestick. They used to go in there and arrest each other, put handcuffs on. I'll continue in a minute.
As Hostetler resumes play, first down at the 47. Logan, the right guard, number 66 to protect and block. And into Charger territory is Harvey Williams to the 45-yard line.
As you watch Kevin Gogan do a good job of pushing and shoving. Anyway, when he was in San Francisco, you could get inside the fence, and then they put handcuffs on each other, and the other one would portray itself as a security guy and walk him into the stadium, supposedly to the security office, get in the stadium, take the handcuffs off, and watch the 49ers play.
That is unique. You arrest each other in the parking lot, and that's how you got back into the stadium. Second down, a long 2 for Hostetler. Trailing 20 to 3. The scramble, and outbound Sayal gives him a push. He was inbounds when he gave him the push at the 40-yard line.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jeff Hostetler has taken a beating. Last year, with all the sacks that he had to suffer with, they are all over this quarterback. Sayal again with that great closing speed.
Let's see if he's inbounds when he makes contact. He is.
And then Hostetler, I think, is saying that somebody tripped him as he got there, but it may have been on the carpet that's on the sideline. The net result is, I mean, again, Hostetler on the ground hard.
First down play. Screen it. Complete to Rathman. And Rathman, no play, apparently. It hit the ground. It's ruled a trap. As Hostetler, under heavy pressure, as he delivered that ball.
He got hammered again.
Reuben Davis, it looked to be playing with a dislocated left elbow, was the man at 320 pounds who was in on the quarterback.
Ball on the ground, no question about that. You can handle that, but again,
Sean Lee, 98.
Sean Lee, 98, again puts Hostetler. There's going to have to be some double detergent on the pants of Hostetler. They are putting him to the ground all over the place in this first half.
It's interesting. Sean Lee, 98, and Reuben Davis, 93, shoulder to shoulder, were both rookies. Draft picks of Tampa Bay in 88. To the sideline, and a good play made by Darren Carrington, knocking it away from Andrew Glover, the tight end.
And that ball floated. I mean, Hostetler has...
Flags are down, and here we go. A scramble at the 47.
AFC West.
Steve Wisniewski, and he's the policeman on that offensive line, saying, don't you be doing whatever you've been doing. I think Sean Lee was in the thick of it. He might have been, or Davis, down under the pile of Raiders. A quiet man. They called him Angus when he was blocking on the left side of the Raider line. It's one of those personal fouls both ways. No play.
See if we can figure out what happened here. Moncello's seen enough. His players found out. Oh, tripped. Gerald Perry trips Mims. O'Neal. Then O'Neal and Wisniewski get into it. Wisniewski is always finishing off every play in his own personal way.
Personal foul, 93. Personal foul, 66. The penalty's offset. 93 has been ejected.
Wait a minute, only one?
Reuben Davis is ejected, and he was the one who was under the pile, I believe. Maybe he came in after the fact.
O'Neal was underneath the pile. Wisniewski was on him, and Reuben Davis realizes now what he's done. He lost his temper, and the guy who fires back is always the one who pays the dearest price. And to this point, that defensive line has been playing beautifully, Dick.
Let's see, Reggie White, number 90. Not the Reggie White, now with the Green Bay Packers, but Reggie White from North Carolina A&T comes in. Hostetler on 3rd and 10. Into the flat. James Jett lopsided. 27 on that play.
What tire do you trust in the wet? A tire that removes over 2 gallons of water per second from under the tread. The all-season MX4. Another engineering splash from Michelin. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Marino flips it to the halfback.
There are 2 ways to make it to the NFL.
He follows Barry Sanders into the hole.
One way is to dream.
Close pass, Richard Dent.
Hope you can run the 40 in 4.3 and learn how to fly. Or just bet the NFL's best they can't eat one Lay's potato chip and make them come play with you.
Ready to pay up?
After all, no one in football can win that bet.
Hey, who'd you expect? Troy Aikman?
Lay's, bet you can't eat just one.
This is $20,000. This is also $20,000. You'd take care of this, wouldn't you? You should take care of your car just as carefully, which is why you should bring your car to Jiffy Lube and ask for Pennzoil. Your car is worth thousands of dollars. Give it the quality of Pennzoil and the experience of Jiffy Lube.
We got experience at Jiffy Lube.
Jiffy Lube, America's favorite oil change.
Next Saturday, Bill Walsh and Stanford take on Lou Holtz, Ron Paulus, and the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Next Saturday, Notre Dame football is home on NBC.
Reuben Davis leaving the Coliseum, ejected from the game. And Davis, you see that left elbow dislocated. In game 1, they said he'd be out 4 to 6 weeks, didn't miss a game.
This is the last pass completion by Jeff Hostetler to the outside. Ball floated a little bit, but James Jett does make the catch, and he is so dangerous with his shocking speed. You can't miss a tackle on James Jett. Even though he's a track athlete, a former track athlete, he shows great football instincts and can break a tackle and run it in the end zone.
So first down for the Raiders at the 13-yard line of San Diego, trailing 20-3, and this is a must touchdown opportunity for the Raiders going in to the locker room at halftime. 2 minutes to go. Both teams have spent all 3 timeouts. There, a couple of yards off the left side. Former Lion Dennis Gibson along with Junior Seau to make the stop.
There are times when the Chargers play, you swear there's more than 155 out there. And he makes tackles in the backfield, 20 yards deep, out there on the sweep, helped with Dennis Gibson, the most active middle linebacker in the game today.
He plays as hard in practice as he does in the game. Second and 8. Hostetler into the end zone, overshoots James Jett. Dwayne Harper on the coverage.
They blitzed him, got it in there. Go ahead.
A reminder coming up, it's the Domino Pizza's NFL live halftime report with Greg Gumbel and Mike Ditka. They'll bring you up to date to all the scores, highlights from the early and the late games around the NFL. That's at halftime. 3rd and 8, Los Angeles at the 11. Hostetler a cool first half. Trailing 20-3. Over the middle, complete to the tight end Glover, hit at the 5 and driven back. It'll be short of the first down as Dwayne Harper made the initial hit.
Here's a big choice for Art Shell. I don't care what the yardage is here. For a little pump to the psychology of his team, go for it.
We're going to need 3 scores anyway, down 20-3.
What's his choice here? Now they're huddling up.
The ball spotted on the 6-yard line. They need to get inside, well, to the 3 for the first down.
But they have 3 wides and just 1 running back, Dick.
And it's given to Hardy Williams, who drives and does not make it. He stopped shy of the 4-yard line.
Art Shell did not have the personnel in the game to make that decision. I admire the decision, But with the inability to run the football, and you've only got one running back, 3 wide receivers, and a tight end, that's never going to work.
Well, that's a big emotional play just before halftime for the Chargers, who are celebrating on the far sideline, and stunned are the Raiders on the near side.
This is not a team that runs very often with one running back. Here's the one running back, Glover the tight end, 3 wides. They are not a one running back offense, but he had to resort to something. It's a straight dive. There's no lead. There's no help.
And there was Junior Seau and all of his friends there waiting for it. And Humphreys will kneel it down, and that'll be the last play of this first half. The San Diego Chargers, the surprising team picked by almost everyone to finish last in the contentious AFC West, starting with wins on the road, 2 of them, Denver and Seattle, 1 at home against Cincinnati, and here in Los Angeles at the intermission hold a 20-3 lead. That is the end of the first half. We'll be back with Greg Gumbel and the Domino's Pizza NFL Live halftime report after these words from your local station.
He witnessed something.
For 86 yards. At the Silverdome in Pontiac, the Lions
both teams.
Okay, smile.
A price of just $30,950.
So whose house next?
How about George Burns?
KNSB.
I've always believed that to be a star in the NFL, you not only have to be the best you can be on the field, but because so many young people look up to the players, it's important to be the best you can be in your community. You can see it with the Charger players. For more than 20 years, NFL stars like Rolf Benerschke and Charlie Joyner have all brought you the stories of how your contributions help people who really need help right here in San Diego. I know you'll remember many of them, as I do, but there was one little girl I'll never forget. Her name was Kimberly Gualteri. She was born with spina bifida. Junior Seau and his wife Gina told us her story of courage and love, and how United Way agencies helped her with her dream to someday walk like other children. And she's not only walking, she's already had her first dance recital. And today, she's here with me.
John, I'd like to thank all the people who give to United Way.
And so would I, Kimberly. United Way, reaching those who need help, touching us all.
This message furnished by the National Football League.
Back at the Coliseum, where the San Diego Chargers, an impressive first half, a couple of big kick returns leading 20-3, the Coors Light halftime statistics. And for the Raiders, the rushing yards for both teams low, and for the Raiders 33 yards, and their running backs only 2.4, and on that call 4th and 3, they needed 3, yes. And they aren't averaging that, and that was crucial to the mood of both teams at halftime.
Yeah, I think what happened, it kind of fed on each other. They ran out of timeouts. They used them in the first half, so they couldn't change personnel, in my opinion, in that very crucial play. So Art Shell had to go with a 1 running back, 8 tight end, 3 wide receiver set against a very tough rushing defense to try to convert the 4th down to keep the drive alive. Couldn't do it. So the Raiders are down inside the 15-yard line twice, only get 3 points.
I understand Hannah Storm has been talking with Art Shell and asked just that question. Did he have the right people in the game? Hannah?
Well, Dick, I just talked to Coach Art Shell, and he said on that 4th down play, that was absolutely the formation that he intended, with the 3 wideouts and the single back set. He did not elaborate. I also asked him what was wrong with his team in the first half. He said they're out of sync. He did not expect this kind of performance in the first half, and frankly, he doesn't know where it's coming from, but he said they're missing running plays right and left. Dick?
So Art is saying that he had the 3 wide receivers hoping that the Chargers would think pass and fool him with the run.
Dick, we've seen the Raiders a lot in the last 2 or 3 years. I can count on one hand the time I've seen single back running play formations. Passing, yes. Not running back, running play formations. So I'm not disputing what Art Shell says, but I think the lack of timeouts forced Art to come up with a run out of that. This is normally a team that, with their inability to run the football, why would you even think about a single back running play on 4th and 3?
Where you need that other back up there to hit the hole.
Meanwhile,
yeah, he's the guy that you want leading you through. And meanwhile, the Chargers used 2 brilliant kick returns, one 90 yards for a touchdown on a punt return by Darian Gordon, plus a 52-yard kickoff return by Andre Coleman. That led to 10 of their 20 points. And Coleman is deep. There's Gordon, who will be used at quarterback next time he takes the field. Jager kicks it off. Second half is underway. Short. One of the up-backs will take it. It's Ronnie Harmon at the 20, 30. Harmon, who loves to get a chance to run and shows it, is across the 40-yard line. Finally brought down by Dan Land and Patrick Bates, a 25-yard return. Stan Humphries has completed 9 consecutive passes as he takes the field. As you can see, for short yardage, only 86 total yards, and 9 out of 10. Hostetler, handful of yards more, 6 for 15.
The coaches preach that special teams will, in a football season, win you or lose you 3 football games. Special teams today are helping the San Diego Chargers win this one.
Humphries starts at the 41. Comes out passing. And incomplete. Mark Say on the near sidelines. He had spun away from the coverage of Lionel Washington, but tripped as he made his cut. Say, a man with a bullet lodged near his heart, as he took that shot to save a 3-year-old niece. A well-documented story a few years ago while in college at Long Beach State.
Her name is Tashonda. His sister's daughter, Tashonda, is now 7 years old. Part of the story that I like is that how far George Allen, the old Rams coach, went for this kid to get him eligible for college football.
And while he'd been held only 7 yards the first half, picks up that much and maybe 8 on the carry before Craig Beekert makes a hit out at the 48-yard line.
Means is a young man who is used to carrying the ball at North Carolina 25 to 30 times a game. Very hard to wear out. That's a very restful half for Natron Means. Just 7 carries, that being his eighth here in the second half.
Well, that's not the ways of Means, is it?
He does Means business.
Third down, and it's about through. Anthony Smith hits Humphries as Humphries completes the pass to Say, and a first down at the Raider 48. As Anthony Smith around the corner and drilling Humphries. How did he get that one accurately into the arms of his receiver?
Again, though, this is from behind the defense. Anthony Smith comes from the right side around Harry Swain, number 72. That's the strength of Humphries. You know, 230 pounds, he can take a hit like that. Anthony Smith hits him good. But to miss the sack and the completion stands, great play.
At the 46 of Los Angeles. John Jefferson in motion, the toss to Means. And toppled after a gain of maybe a yard. Down low, Beekert and Chester McLaughlin was in on the play as well.
Last year, Stan Humphries, when he had that bad shoulder, we had the ability to track the speed of a football. 27 miles per hour, not really set up pressure, didn't really throw it strongly. But several weeks ago against San Diego, against Denver, this is a bullet. 37 yards, threw it almost 50, 37 miles per hour, threw it almost 45 yards on a line. Humphries has a very strong arm, and when it's healthy, one of the best in the league.
And second down. Throws for Deans. Man, he catches it. What a throw. Off balance. He just lost a little lob shot to the sidelines, and Deems May, who hadn't caught a pass in 3 years until today, has it for 18 yards.
Dick, when he first threw it, I thought he was just throwing it away. Deems May keeps going after it.
Oh, my.
How about that catch? Winston Moss, 99 in coverage. Look, to this point in this 1994 season, everything that San Diego done has worked. Everything, they've gotten every break. They've taken advantage of every break. Everything they've done has worked.
Well, you got to go to the sidelines and credit Bobby Ross for that. Over the middle of the throw. And inside the 15-yard line goes Sean. No, it's Say again. Mark Say. Terry McDaniel and Eddie Anderson collaborate on the stop. And this young man, 15 more yards for Say, who has been the favorite receiver of Humphreys today with 5 catches.
McDaniel again, zone coverage, looking through the receiver back at the quarterback, and the safety didn't fill quickly enough. Say had 8 catches for 119 yards 2 weeks ago against the Bengals.
Now caught an NFL pass prior to this season. Means, and he's greeted in the hole by Beekert again. No, that's his Nolan Harrison, and pointing down as if there's something he didn't find pleasure with.
I think what they were saying is that somebody had stripped the ball away, but the officials don't feel that way. This young defensive line, Dick, is good, but it misses Howie Long. His presence, his experience. When Means cuts back, Harrison right there in his face.
No game. Well, actually a yard loss. They mark it 2nd and 11. The enemy in for Means, and he has room outside. And then Powell to about the 8-yard line. Eric Public Bieniemy, as he was called in college, a 2nd-round pick by Bobby Beathard 3 years ago.
A little delay handoff to the running back. Single blocking, no help there. Bounces to the outside, outruns Beekert. Aaron Wallace can't quite get him. And runs over Lionel Washington. Eddie Anderson helps. But again, a good, patient drive here by San Diego. Started at their own 40 with that big kickoff return by Ronnie Harmon.
Used nearly 5 minutes of this 3rd quarter. 6 yards for Bieniemy on that play. 3rd and 5. Knocked out of the hands of Humphreys and out of bounds. Is it ruled ruled a forward pass, and it's McLaughlin who has played a huge game. This big 310-pounder from Clemson, who in high school was a 275-pound linebacker. He said, I wasn't big enough to play in my high school line.
I don't believe that, but I don't want to see his other guys. Chester is going to be one of the great defensive linemen in this game, but because of a broken ankle at the end of last season and also a turf toe early last season, his development has kind of been stymied a little bit. But watch this kid.
27-yard attempt by John Kearney. And he is 3-for-3 from 37, 24, and now 27 yards.
I know what you're feeling.
It's the world's most advanced long-distance network, AT&T. Yet today, something remarkable is happening. A breakthrough from AT&T Bell Labs in digital voice reproduction called AT&T True Voice. Soon, everyone with AT&T will enjoy sound quality more lifelike than was ever possible before. So your voice sounds clearer, warmer, closer to the real you.
Your true voice.
Only AT&T can bring you True Voice.
Ready?
Listen to the difference.
And go.
It's the most lifelike sound ever, and it's part of your basic service, just because you're with AT&T.
It's twilight. Sunroof's open. We're cruising down the coast highway in my new Bonneville. Yeah, I'm in an evening dress. He looks great. Soft music on the CD. He leans over and says, "This is nice. Dual airbags, traction control, over 200 horsepower. He even knew it was almost 15 grand less than a BMW or Lexus. So it was love at first sight. You could say that."
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Pontiac and your local Pontiac dealer. We are driving excitement. By McDonald's, what you want is what you get. McDonald's today. By Edge Aftershave, ultimate comfort. That's the edge. And by AT&T, we help put your world within reach.
Stan Humphries, a carefully engineered drive again by San Diego. Low risk. And he is now 12 for 15 and has gone 155 throws without being intercepted. As Bobby Beathard looks on from the San Diego Charger booth. Beathard, many felt this was a test of his genius this season. And all the changes. Yeah. Carney's kickoff, very short and on the run. Alexander Wright. Great start, and Carney can't get him. Darian Gordon does, but not until the 30-yard line of San Diego. Well, the short kick, and Alexander Wright was at full speed when he caught it. 55-yard return.
Dick, when he gets the ball, 3 strides, 1, 2, 3, and he is really by the coverage. Carney can't get him, and Darian Gordon, the guy who returned the punt for the touchdown, knocks him out on a big special team stop.
Looking good. Pacing with your car is a great idea.
Yeah, especially when it's my new Grand Am.
Well, you couldn't take my car. Doesn't have analog brakes or an airbag.
Or 150 horsepower. Your car couldn't keep up with me.
Man, this engine is really smooth.
What?
I said you're really starting to move.
Hey, where are you?
We've brought you here for a little chat about your teeth and some good news. An instrument made to get between teeth that you can comfortably use at home. The new generation Crest Complete. First, Crest created a brush to fit your teeth, designed to penetrate and clean far between them. Now new Crest Complete goes even farther than before. The better you care for your teeth, the more you and your dentist can enjoy these little visits. New Crest Complete, the dentist's choice for rippled brushes.
The water on the left is being heated by electricity. On the right, by gas. For the cost of heating this much water with electricity, we'd like to show you how much more you can get with gas. And if your neighborhood doesn't have natural gas, you can still heat for less than electricity with propane gas. So no matter where you live, why settle for the water on the left when gas gives you all that hot water on the right? Gas, America's best energy value.
Next Sunday, there's more great NFL action on NBC. Boomer Esiason and the high-flying Jets take on the Cleveland Browns, or the Buffalo Bills battle the Chicago Bears, or Rick Meyer returns to Indy as the Seahawks face the Colts. The NFL on NBC.
Love to stay. Gotta run.
The NFL's fastest man in 92 and 93, Alexander Wright. He has a 44 and now a 55-yard kickoff return from the 29 Hostetler. Flushed out of the pocket over the middle. Jim Brown. It'll be first and goal at the 7-yard line. Dwayne Harper rides it down.
Great protection by the Raiders' offensive line. Hostetler had lots and lots of time.
23 yards.
From behind the offense, the line does a great job of just pushing everybody on the left side to the inside. Defensive end loses contained. Brown just sitting down there in the middle. Hostetler makes a nice completion. First and goal, Raiders.
Looking for their initial touchdown of this game. Brown in motion. Trying to get around the corner and loses 3 yards as Darian Gordon with the force on the run from his cornerback spot.
Oh, they were playing chicken. When they watch the move by Montgomery, and he tries to fake out Darian Gordon. Chicken, who's going to move? Whoop. And Gordon with those long arms able to get just a hand on Ty Montgomery, and he loses 3 yards maybe.
And Tom Rathman did a terrific job of sealing off Junior Seau with a block. Rathman and Harvey Williams now in a flag down.
There's no told there is no foul. Please put 25 seconds back. 25 seconds back on the 40-25 clock.
It'll be second and goal from outside the 9-yard line. It's one of those sauruses. I will have to go back to encyclopedia. Thought those were extinct, but I guess not. Wide open is Jet. Oh my, did he go airborne? Is it Jet? Should. No, it's Harvey Williams. Harvey Williams flying to the goal line and barely shy of a touchdown. Boy, that's a courageous effort by Williams.
A swing out of the backfield. Harvey Williams is the outlet receiver. Hostetler hits him perfectly in stride, and then he tries to hurdle everyone.
Luckily, Steve Hendrickson in on that tackle helped him to the ground. Broke the fall.
That's a great throw by Jeff Hostetler right there.
From the 1-inch line. It's Williams. And Sayal denies the touchdown. Oh, my. Junior Sayal with that explosion of his to the ball carrier.
Yes, that closing speed. Now another 4th down. Does he have one back in there or two?
That's 8 tackles and 2 sacks for Sayal. As Shell looking out at Hostetler. The signals for the play called do not go through Shell, but they go from Fred Biletnikoff.
Yes. Tom Walsh upstairs, Fred Biletnikoff up downstairs, and they take the timeout.
So it'll be 4th and goal from the 1-yard line for the Raiders when we come back to the Coliseum.
You let Vince drive your new Bonneville just to the game. Guy's a wild man. He wanted to see how the Bonneville stacked up to his BMW. I got his attention when I told him I had traction control, dual airbags, and even more horsepower than his BMW, and for thousands less. So you think he'll like it? Well, I suppose he does. Where is that guy?
Airbags, seat belts, and anti-lock brakes, child safety seats, careful driving, and a set of Michelins.
McDonald's is your place for music this month. Get Tina Turner's greatest hits. Or Elton John's classics. Each full-length CD is just $5.99. Each cassette $3.99 when you buy any extra value meal or large sandwich. Don't miss it.
It's up to you. All you have to do is brush your teeth. No brush, no story.
With fax, voicemail, speakerphone, and an integrated CD-ROM system,
Daddy, let's do this book tonight.
the compact Presario will let you do things that may have seemed impossible before.
She brushed?
Tonight on Unsolved Mysteries, the Iceman, a hoax or missing link to man's past. All new Unsolved Mysteries tonight at 7, 6 Central on NBC.
And it's LA Raider assistant Tom Walsh. He's called the play, and Jeff Hostetler has gone into the huddle with it. The ball is just outside the 1, 4th and goal. Rathman is in there with Harvey Williams.
So it's 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 1 tight end.
Actually, 2 tight ends, Andrew Glover and Jamie Williams, with Tim Brown, the wide receiver. He's to the right. Brown in motion. And touchdown! What an effort by Hostetler! Meanwhile, another skirmish between Leslie O'Neal and Steve Wisniewski, who were involved earlier in the game, and that was the fracas that led to Reuben Davis being thrown out for San Diego. So Hostetler, his own athletic talent to get the Raiders in the end zone. Not an easy scramble for a 1-yard touchdown.
No question that there was great coverage by San Diego, and it was a half roll. And you're right, that is all credit to Jeff Hostetler. Did not give up on that play.
play call was obviously to either the tight end or to Tim Brown on the right side for a pass, but Hostetler ad-libs it into the end zone. Jager's try for point. Center, and the Raiders with their first touchdown, pull within 13, a 29-yard drive after the kickoff return.
Fakes to Harvey. Williams looks out there and immediately understands that the numbers are for San Diego. Nice little move, puts his head down like a fullback. Hostetler scores.
Champion in the world of sports and now a business winner. This profile brought to you by AT&T.
103.9 KACE.
With 150 employees and 5 radio stations, former Green Bay Packer Willie Davis went from the Super Bowl to the studio with equal success.
I'm an entrepreneur to the core. I do get involved. I try to create a part of the leadership, a part of the motivation. Lombardi used to tell us the way you kind of function here in football is the way you'll live the rest of your life.
Now the world's most advanced long-distance network, AT&T, brings you the most lifelike sound quality ever. It's AT&T True Voice. Listen to the difference.
And go.
It's a breakthrough in digital voice reproduction, and it's part of your basic service, just because you are with AT&T.
What am I doing here with you?
You're my brother. It's your genetic obligation to help me.
Right. So, the Grand Am has a 150 horsepower engine, standard.
Oh, it is a blast to drive, and the balance shaft makes it smooth as silk.
Standard airbag and anti-lock brakes, exactly.
You know the Grand Am costs thousands less than the Accord or the Camry?
Really?
Yep, I researched it.
Well, you've made a smart choice.
Thank you.
Yeah, so what am I doing here?
You're helping me pick out a color.
Color, yeah.
One of the world's most enduring symbols, the Goodyear blimp Eagle, has been providing these beautiful aerial pictures in sports for many, many years. And now Jager sends a skidding kick down to Andre Coleman at the 20. The rookie trying to get outside is at the 30. And finally dragged down at the 35-yard line. Back to the Hostetler touchdown.
Hostetler does a great job because the primary receiver is right here. It's the tight end running a little flare. Tim Brown is going to try to pick. Rathman comes out in the flat, but you're going to see everybody gets crowded up here at the point where Hostetler has to make the decision. And he looks here and says, nothing there. And then he turns runner. And he does a nice little move there, puts his head down. You don't see many quarterbacks in the NFL run like that.
Humphries from his own 35 off play action, wants to go long and has a man downfield. Mark Say, and no penalty. Oh, Lionel Washington was beaten on the play, and Say limps off. Incidental contact.
Oh, but they've called it so closely on defensive backs to this point in the season. Their feet get tangled up. Is Washington looking back at the ball? He does, and he kind of goes through the receiver to get to it. Well, I'm shocked that there's no flag. We've seen a lot less contact that's drawn the flag, and it was catchable. If he stays on his feet, that's a completion.
Say, the leading receiver with 5 catches today, and they send him deep, and it's a double penalty for San Diego if indeed Say also has injured himself enough not to return. It'll be 2nd and 10. That's something that the Chargers have shown in this early season. They seem conservative, run the ball, short passes, and then when they think they've got that spot, we'll try to stretch it deep.
Yeah, that's turning the knife after they already have it in. Get them all worried about Natron Means at the line of scrimmage and a little dink and dunk that they do, and then, yeah, turn one loose.
Meanwhile, Sam Humphries, 61% plus, 6 touchdown passes, no interceptions this year. Natron Means. And a flag down as Means unable to get back to the line of scrimmage. Winston Moss feels that was a hold against San Diego.
Now they tried to run the counter. And the Raiders blew it up. Holding Chargers, you're right, Dick.
It'll either be 3rd and 11 or 2nd and 20. Moss looks to the sidelines for the call. And they'll take the penalty.
Holding, number 67 on the offense. That's a 10-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
Well, it's always the way you talk about offensive lineman Stan Brock, the old pro, 36 years of age in his 15th season. And Humphrey so high in praise of Brock. He said, here's this old pro giving us the intensity of a rookie is all business. And he's shown our young players how to be a pro, how to play like one.
I got it caught there. You know, veterans get away with holding more than rookies, but he got caught there.
2nd and 20. Humphreys incomplete. Looking for Tony Martin, the recipient of that 99-yard touchdown last Sunday in Seattle.
Dick, to this point, this is a very poor series for the San Diego Chargers. First play, low percentage pass down the middle, no flag. Second play, they run the counter. It's stopped dead. Then they try to go deep again. Now 3rd down and long. Really puts the offense in a real tough spot. Ralph Friesen, the offensive coordinator of the San Diego Chargers, I'm not sure about this particular series here. They could have done this a lot better.
It's Friesen who made the call on the 1-foot line to go for the bomb last week in Seattle. And he calls pass here. Humphreys is deflected, intended for Sean Jefferson. I believe Anthony Smith got a hand on it.
Yeah, now see, Dick, that last drive by the Raiders got him back in the game, got the fans back in the game. The Chargers had the opportunity to close them down, and they instead choose to throw a lot. Anthony Smith does get his hand up, and now you've given a slight bit of momentum to the Los Angeles Raiders.
First time the Chargers have had the punt today. That's how well they've moved the ball. Brian Wagner, his 2nd week as the San Diego punter from Cal State Northridge. To Tim Brown at the 36. And out of bounds shy of midfield, so the Raiders are back in good field position. 23-10 San Diego.
Excuse me, Shane. Ow.
In the NFL, there's only one sports drink, and it's gotta be Gatorade. Now, to each man who shaves, there's an edge all his own. Only Edge Gel has 8 custom formulas to fit every shaving need. From tough beards to sensitive skin. For a close, comfortable shave, get an edge of your own. Ultimate closeness, ultimate comfort. That's the Edge. And try improved Edge aftershave. Now more soothing than ever.
Jim Kelly, one of the NFL's top guns. Bears coach Dave Wanstead talks with Mike Ditka. All you need to know in one complete 30-minute helping. NFL Live, next Sunday.
Well, you want to have longevity in this sport. Play center for the Raiders. In their history going back to 1960, basically from 60 to 1994, only 3 men have played that position. Jim Otto in 12 Pro Bowls, Dave Galby another, and then when Galby left, Don Mosbar was moved from guard and tackle into play center, and he's now in his 12th year. There's Jim Otto, one of the greats, Hall of Famer. He was part of the Throwbacks weekend, the 75th anniversary season in the coin toss.
Wore that double bar face mask and the bull ring in the top of his helmet for years as a center.
There's the other ring, the first Super Bowl ring.
He's the gentleman you may have seen a lot of tape on. The number of knee surgeries he had and then had knee replacements. He is now like a new man. And Jim is a great guy, and now he can move around a little bit.
Raiders starting to move, and it's Rathman now as he broke into the clear. A good gain to the 45, and we clear it to New York for this update.
Dick, at Detroit, this Barry Sanders run defies description. 39 yards, 107 on the day for Barry Sanders. New England's lead is down to 20-14, Dick.
Oh, Barry Sanders, come on now. Send him to a higher league. What a week for him. On the 45, second and short, the reverse to Rocket. Chased by Leslie O'Neal. And finally written to the sidelines by Dwayne Harper. First down at the 35.
And Dick, momentum now slipping over to the Raiders' side of the football. And anytime you can get the Rocket involved in your offense, he can turn anything into a big play. That was an 11-yard reverse. There's Arnsparger. That last offensive series by San Diego kind of gave the Raiders just a little fresh breath of air.
Well, they got the kickoff return, the long return to the 29, and then the Hostetler fourth down scramble for a touchdown, and a stop the first time they stopped San Diego. And now they're back in Charger territory. And Hostetler underneath. Harvey Williams, good move. Another first down to the 24-yard line.
We've talked a lot about Junior Seau. That middle linebacker drops back in coverage, reading the quarterback's eyes, and Harvey Williams makes Junior miss. Gibson finally there to assist on the tackle.
To the 23-yard line with 4:15 left in the third period.
Chargers need a blitz here, Dick, to disrupt this momentum that the Raiders have established. A blitz.
Throws it away. It was Chris Mims shooting in from that left-hand position. Mims to replace Bert Grossman. Grossman set away, and the blade from Tennessee on the top of Hostetler too quickly. Didn't go for the fake.
Yeah, they don't block Mims, and they're hoping he sinks down inside so that Hostetler was out there by himself. Andrew Glover, the tight end, was going to be the primary receiver. But Mims played it honestly. When he came out of Tennessee, not very strong. Since he began working on the weights, now he is a legitimate NFL defensive end.
6'5" and 290, and he's only 24. Free play down.
Free play.
Touchdown, Rocket Ismail. Indicating that the penalty was against San Diego, and Hostetler 24 yards to Rocket Ismail, and here come the Raiders. And with a successful extra point, the Raiders will be within 6. Makes it 23-17. Rocket Ismail's first touchdown catch of this new season.
Rocket runs the post. So does the inside man. You've got man coverage here. Hostetler, an excellent job. And of course, the Rocket with great speed told us when he came out of the Canadian Football League what he had to learn was to accelerate out of the break. He certainly did there. Darian Gordon returned the punt return for a touchdown. He got 7. Here he bites on the outside fake, gives up 7 or 6 as the case may be. Rocket, we asked him about the Canadian Football League, and you asked him how different it was. He said, well, they only have a 37-man roster, and they have a rule up there that says the teams can only practice 4 hours a day.
The players like that.
Yeah, meetings and practice.
So 2 possessions for the Raiders in this third quarter, 2 touchdowns. Hostetler's scramble on 4th down for the first, and now Haas to the Rocket, 24 yards. And the San Diego lead, once at 23-3, is carved to within 6.
Well, that's a look at determination on Hostetler's face.
Big possession now for San Diego. Good kick, very high. Andre Coleman does a little dance and gets only to the 20-yard line. hit by John Duff. Tonight on NBC, the world premiere of a powerful mystery thriller, The Innocent. Emmy winner Kelsey Grammer of Frasier is a cop trying to save a young boy targeted for murder. That's the NBC Sunday night movie, The Innocent, tonight at 9 Eastern and Pacific, right here on NBC.
Nick, we've got Donald Frank, former Charger, down on the field covering that kickoff.
And the indication by one of the trainers, left knee.
Well, in setting up for, see if we can see what happened. There's 47 right out in front of you. Ronnie Harmon is blocking on him, 33. Looks like somebody may have kneed him. But in talking to the San Diego Chargers, a lot of people on the offensive side of the ball said that the thing that has worked best for us is our offensive line has held up, done an excellent job of protecting Humphreys, and also given Natron Means the little cracks to bounce through there. Well, to this point in this game, this is that offensive line's best test right here.
And the man that has the most pressure for the Chargers is their center, Curtis Whitley, who is making his first ever National Football League start. There he is, Whitley, as Courtney Hall, who has started every game since he became a Charger in '89, '83 in a row, has a torn bicep, and Whitley has replaced him. And his former college teammate, Chester McLaughlin, is a man that's given him a tough time, as has Jerry Ball. It's Natron. And a flag down, and things are starting to crack on the San Diego side. Terry McDaniel makes the stop. Holding again against the Chargers. All the penalties went against the Raiders in the first half, and now it's turned the other way.
Holding number 80 on the offense. That's a 10-yard penalty from where the play ended. Still first down.
Sean Jefferson, the wide receiver, trying to help out. The flag takes the penalty, takes it back to the 12.
You want the receiver to just get in the way. Hoskins is the man. He just grabs his jersey. You got to be a better actor than that, Sean.
It's an 8-yard penalty. Second down, 18. Humphreys over the middle to Ronnie Harmon, and Harmon with a burst is out to the 30-yard line, and depending on where they spot it, if it's on the 30, it's a first down.
Again, Hoskins, the safety, was the man in coverage, and Harmon just with that simple circle route. He's flanked over on the right-hand side. You'll see him come in the picture. Humphreys has so much confidence in Ronnie Harmon.
What a target he is. And look at him as a Charger, 46, 59, 7. You add those last 2 years, and no running back in the NFL has caught more passes, 152. It's just shy of the first down. They need to get to the 30. And Natron, with a second effort, is able to carry 2 tacklers to the first down. Chester McLaughlin and Anthony Smith, about 600 pounds on him.
He kind of leapt forward for that last little bit. There's Scott Davis back for the team picture, back for the game this week.
After a couple of years off and then returning, and then a couple of weeks off.
Yeah.
Just left for personal reasons.
Don't the Raiders get a bye next week? He took a 2-week bye. He'll have 2 byes this week or this year.
First down on Means' second effort. And Means, boy, they're really keying on him. And Jerry Ball and Winston Moss pin him for no gain.
You back.
Raiders up front guys have made it very difficult for Means to get through that first line of defense. That's Gunther Cunningham, the defensive line coach. Now John Fox is now the defensive coordinator for the Raiders. He used to be a San Diego Charger assistant. Jim Haslip standing up there with the headset with this defense. The front seven done a great job against a good running game.
Means with only 17 yards today and 13 carries. Humphreys buys some time, trying to outrun Anthony Smith.
Oh, he slid feet first. He slid feet first, and then Anthony Smith kind of piled on him.
But Smith was already moving in on the tackle as he made the move, so no penalty.
This young man, one of those physical phenoms. Great speed, 6'3", 260.
Said they're going long for Say, or Tony Martin, intercepted by Terry McDaniel. He's down by contact at the 15-yard line. The first interception thrown by Humphreys this year. The first in 160 passes.
Dan Humphreys tried to make a big play there when all he needed was a first down. Ronnie Harmon ran the out route. And it looked to me like the choice of Stan Humphreys to go down the field produced the interception. McDaniel all over this one. Great timing. And he comes up with the interception.
McDaniel's second interception. Of course, he had one last week for a touchdown against John Elway of 15 yards. But that serves for San Diego the same as a 53-yard punt, no return. At the 15, the Raiders trail by 6. Final minute, third quarter. Junior Seau was in the backfield and forced it wide into the arms of Leslie O'Neal.
Yes, Junior right up the gut made Harvey just jump outside, and then the defensive end, Leslie O'Neal there for the tackle.
And they'll not try to run a play, the Raiders. So the final seconds of the third quarter. A big quarter after Carney kicked the field goal to give San Diego 23-3 lead. 2 touchdowns. The Raiders in it. We'll be back after these messages from your local station.
Monday on an all-new Fresh Prince, Will takes Nikki to see Dougie the Whale. One problem.
I think you better keep your fins off me.
Oh, yeah? All-new Fresh Prince, NBC Monday.
The Sacramento Bee reports that state records show a bankrupt Huffington company owes California $6.7 million in back taxes. And the Examiner says that Congressman Huffington stiffed California for 3 years of income taxes by claiming Texas residence while he lived in California. What other tricks did Huffington play to avoid taxes? Nobody knows, because unlike Pete Wilson, Ronald Reagan, and Dianne Feinstein, Huffington refuses to disclose his taxes. Congressman Huffington, a Texas oil millionaire who Californians just can't trust.
Recently, IntelliChoice named one of these luxury cars a best overall value in its class. Was it the Mercedes C280 or the Lexus ES? Care to guess? The Lexus ES. Stop by your San Diego County Lexus dealer today.
300,000 illegal immigrant children in public schools, and they keep coming. The cost, $1.5 billion a year.
It is unfair to the people who are working hard, paying taxes, educating their children, and here we are rewarding people who've entered the country illegally.
Wilson wants to use the money spent on illegals to take care of California's kids. Kathleen Brown thinks differently. In a major policy speech, Brown said illegal immigration is wrongly seen as a cause of problems in California. Where do you stand?
Watch Sports Wrap today after the game.
This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the NFL is prohibited.
With Bob Trumpy and Hannah Storm, Dick Enberg, welcome back to Los Angeles on a beautiful Sunday. The Raiders, 14 unanswered points, and where would they be had they converted at the end of the first half? Remember, inside the 5-yard line and denied a first down. On 2nd and 11. Lots of protection and wide open is Jett. James Jett had to make a turn and just shy of an 85-yard touchdown. Stanley Richard had been beaten.
Double zone run by the San Diego Chargers. Corners up, safeties out, and the former Olympic track sprinter just runs away from the coverage. Stanley Richard, the closest one. It was just a 2-man pattern, but Haas would like to have that one back. He hasn't missed many. in this game, although in previous games he has missed those guys deep. And now it's 3rd and long.
It is Darryl Hobbs, his first catch today, and where they, oh, good forward progress. They spotted across the 25, a first down.
Great protection for Hostetler. Boy, he could set and really fire that one into Hobbs. Watch the separation from the defensive line to Hostetler. Able to step forward, really fire the thing right into the gut of Hobbs. Man, that was a friendly spot. Very friendly spot.
That's a 10.5 yards on a first down. Williams with a great block. And another first down at the 37-yard line.
Boy, that was a wreck between Tom Rathman and Chris Mims, 94. Coming right at you. Watch Rathman come from the left-hand side. Mims, boom. And then Williams out there by himself. Another big block. And Gordon again with the assist. Junior Seau out there, but another first down.
At the 37-yard line with 13 minutes and 45 seconds left in the fourth quarter. 23-17 San Diego. Hostetler gets it away to Tim Brown at the 41 of San Diego. Cut down by Steve Hendrickson, and Brown, he's not hurt. He was just thinking, I got it. And Hostetler was hit as he threw that ball. And Brown was thinking touchdown, full speed, and just tripped up.
When you run against zones, you try to get to the middle of the zone. That's the opening in the field, but it takes time. And this is a shoestring tackle by Steve Hendrickson. Right? Got a hold of the tip of the toe.
Down to the 41 of San Diego. And the Raiders moving it well, and Haas to throw again. And sacked he is from inside. It's 98 Sean Lee, who now has 2.5 sacks this year. That's 3 by the Chargers today. They were second in the league behind Dallas Cowboys with 15 team sacks, and Chargers had 12 starting today.
The Grizzly, they called him. Sean Lee.
Sean Swoboda Lee. Dad was a big New York Mets fan. -6 on the sack that takes it out to the 46-yard line. And Hostetler, who was shaken on the previous play, and I don't know about this one, but remember, he got it very slowly after the completed pass to Tim Brown. Vince Evans tunes up. We'll be back.
There is one detail of extraordinary thoughtfulness in the 1995 Mitsubishi Galant.
These are a few of my favorite things.
After you turn off the ignition, you still have 30 seconds of power to open or close the windows or sunroof. It's a luxury you may quickly come to think of as a necessity. In the Galant.
These are a few of my favorite things.
From Mitsubishi, the new thinking in automobiles.
As your engine revs higher, the oil inside creates a hydrodynamic wedge, a protective layer that builds up and keeps engine parts separated. But as your oil's viscosity breaks down, so can the wedge. That's why Castrol GTX provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. Because if your viscosity breaks down, what's next? Castrol GTX, engineered for greater protection against breakdown. Now get a free officially licensed NFL team shirt when you buy a case of Castrol GTX.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by the all-new 1995 Eclipse from Mitsubishi, the new thinking in automobiles. By Coors Light, the silver bullet. Keep on moving. by Castrol GTX, engineered for greater protection against breakdown. And by Warner Brothers' new motion picture, The Specialist, starting Friday, October 7th at a theater near you.
We're back, and it's an official timeout for injury to Jeff Hostetler, who did leave under his own power, was favoring an ankle. So Vince Evans in on second down and 16. And it's a screen to Williams. Well read by the defense of the Chargers. Very little gain, maybe a yard or two. Steve Hendrickson, who was with the Raiders in the summer camp, signed as a free agent, and then the Raiders released him, a very unhappy guy when he heard the news, and headed back down to San Diego, where he is well loved.
And here comes Hostetler back in. Now, Dick, we got to go back 3 plays. The completion to Tim Brown's the first time he gets hit. This is Sean Lee after the completion gets him to the ground. Then 2 plays ago, the one where he had to come out, that's Reggie White on the top, Mims on the bottom. He comes out. He has been hit hard today, Dick.
3rd and 16. Down the middle, it's complete. That'll be enough for a first down. It's Rocket Ismail.
24, Stanley Richards on the blitz, picked up well by Harvey Williams. Good protection. They also had Junior Seau out there. The Chargers sensing the momentum changing, trying to put something else in the mix, put something in Hostetler's face, but he's standing in there, getting good protection and making the completions. There you see Richards hit again, and he's down.
Needed 16 and got about 18. He's 7 for 9, well over 100 yards in this second half. Raiders threatening to take the lead as Harvey Williams tripped up and brought down for a loss at the 29. It was Chris Mims, 94, that had invaded the backfield and tripped him up. Big fan, as a kid, he said, of the Dallas Cowboys and Too Tall Jones. Well, he had the too tall reach to get down and trip up Williams.
Too Tall Jones was unblockable.
You ever tried?
Yes. And I can confirm he was unblockable.
Boy, a Jekyll and Hyde game for Hostetler. 6 for 15, struggling in the opening half and almost perfect here in the second half. 2nd and 13. Tim Brown, another first down at the 12. And they're finding a huge gap in the middle of that San Diego zone.
That's exactly what it is. The middle of the San Diego zone. You're going to see the middle linebacker come out here. Here's Tim Brown just running the square in, and if you can't get pressure on the quarterback, you can see the big gap in the middle of the zone. The tight end crossing drags the linebacker, and zone, and Brown standing right there for the easy completion.
So open that he could actually turn away from the hit. Normally you catch that one and you're hit immediately. Just 12 yards from the lead, the Raiders. Rathman up the middle and flags down as Rathman gets near the 10.
Ball start on the offense, the left tackle prior to the snap. The 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Gerald Perry, who played the spot that Art Shell glorified in the days with the Oakland Raiders.
Now this guy, when he was at Denver, and they thought he was a good player, but he had so many problems that come down here, and Art Shell kind of became his personal teacher. And Gerald Perry now, one of the best offensive tackles there is in the game. Very strong, nasty attitude, good technique.
17 yards for a touchdown. They need to get inside the 2 for a first down. San Diego says they have it. They do. Oh my, Harvey Williams coughs it up, and half the Charger team on the field to cheer a defense that was struggling and seemed to be exhausted. Darren Carrington fell on the loose ball, the safety man for San Diego.
Well, it's hard to see who makes the contact. The handoff is clean to Harvey Williams. I don't think anybody hit him. The thing just bounced out of his hands on the ground, recovered by San Diego.
an ordinary beer can, barely alive.
Gentlemen, we can rebuild it. We have the technology. We have the capability to make the world's first bionic can. Coors Light will be that can. Better than it was before. Taller, thinner, silver.
Next on the Coors Light Channel.
Is it friendly or hostile? Is it a force for good or evil? Only one thing is known for certain. It sure knows how to make a first impression. Introducing the all-new 1995 Eclipse from Mitsubishi. The new thinking in automobiles.
The government taught him to kill.
Word is, you're the best.
Now he's using his skills to help one woman seek revenge against the men who killed her family.
You think the killing is gonna make everything all right?
Something has to.
Silent, come on! They're my problem now, not theirs.
Close your heart in my hand.
Sylvester Stallone. Sharon Stone. The Specialist, rated R, starts Friday, October 7th at a theater near you.
Tonight, we called out.
Let's see who's listening out there.
And someone answered.
Who are they? What do they want?
The aliens are back, but this time they are not alone.
I'll see to it they don't leave this planet.
They brought their friends with them. Stop! The new Sequest at 8, 7 Central, NBC Tonight.
Dick, I said it looked like somebody just dropped the ball, but watch 90. Reggie White slapped the ball out of Harvey Williams' arms. Ball on the ground, recovered by San Diego.
I get the Natron Means, and he's out to the 17, 18-yard line. Harvey Williams, his teammates trying to pick up his spirits. As Reggie White, who's in the game only because Reuben Davis was ejected in a fight in the first half. White makes the fumble, forced fumble, and stops a Raider drive that seemed to be certain to give them the lead. They've been inside the 20 3 times and have scored only once, the Raiders. Now on second down, Means cutting back and drives for what appears to be a first down out to the 27-yard line. Yes, indeed.
Well, this is exactly what the Chargers needed to do earlier now. Give it to Natron Means, soften up that line of scrimmage, and kind of take some of the steam out of the crowd and the Raiders.
For the Chargers, inside the 20, have forced 6 fumbles this year. That's why they're 3-0 coming in.
It's certainly intentional.
Under 8 minutes to play. San Diego still leads by 6. First down, over the top to the 31, a gain of 4 as we go to Greg Gumbel, NFL update in New York.
All right, Dick, earlier today in the Miami loss to Minnesota at the Metrodome, Miami running back Terry Kirby, number 43, bent backwards by the Viking defense. How bad? Later, Don Shula said ligament damage. Looks like he's out for the year. Ligament damage to his knee. Back to L.A., Dick and Bob.
Yeah, that was one of those ugly ones where you just could see it coming, and there was no way that people could stop. 2nd and 6 from the 31. Humphreys. Play action, looking for something big, and then throws it incomplete. Washington, touchdown! Well, the Raiders fans cheer as they're about to take the lead. It's much worse than an interception for a touchdown if you're a San Diego fan. There's Stan Humphreys indicating that that was a serious hit on the knee. 31-yard touchdown. Lionel Washington off the juggle. Bobbled right into his arms.
Oh, we should see exactly what happens. Ball should never have been thrown. He's very late in making his decision here. McLaughlin hits him from behind, 91. Ball bounces off the hands
of Shannon Mitchell.
And Lionel Washington, his first interception of the year, goes for a score.
And from 20 to 3 to 3, the lead early in this second half. The Raiders have tied it at 23 before this extra point. Oh, boy, does he ever get hit on that left knee.
Yeah, and very similar to what we just saw of Terry Kirby. Just the weight gets outside the knee, and the only thing that can give is the ligaments.
You got a man 310 pounds, McLaughlin, putting all the weight right on that knee, and that's the ugly part of football.
I'm not being doctor or diagnosing what happened here, but I mean, that looked a lot like what we just saw happen to Terry Kirby.
Gail Gilbert, acquired from the Bills as a free agent, is the backup quarterback. And then they go to Jeff Brum, a rookie from Louisville, behind him. If it's the emergency situation where you use that third-string quarterback. Do you find anything positive in the fact that he's able to put some weight?
No, none. He's a big, strong guy. No. There is a certain, when you hurt your knee like that, there's a certain numbness that sets in, and you can get up, and it doesn't feel too bad. And then when you get to the sideline and start walking around, suddenly it feels very loose. If in fact it's a serious knee injury.
Isn't it incredible? Here's Humphries, had gone 159 passes in a row without being intercepted, and now he's been intercepted 2 out of the last 2, and he injured as well.
Yeah, not funny, but 2 bad choices by Stan Humphries resulted in both of those interceptions.
And now for the lead, Jeff Jager. Raiders 24, Chargers 23.
Finding work. It's the ultimate test students face. At ITT, we had a vision. Better teaching and facilities would lead to better students, which would lead to better jobs. And that's what led us to invest over $35 million in ITT Technical Institutes. It's nice to know our investment is working. ITT, we're adding more than just our name.
Napa, we're the most complete source for auto parts, and all Napa parts are backed by a nationwide warranty program. No wonder more Americans trust Napa to keep their vehicles running.
Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens.
The 1995 Mitsubishi Galant, filled with thoughtful details.
These are a few of my favorite things.
Lease a new Galant S, $199 a month for only 24 months, with $1,000 down.
These are a few of my favorite things.
The affordable Galant S lease, perhaps the most favorite thing of all.
Broncos, Cherokees, Pathfinders, any pickup or 4x4, on-road or off. Boy, do we have a tire for you. The tough LTX Light Truck Series from Michelin.
Next Sunday, there's more great NFL action on NBC. Boomer Esiason and the high-flying Jets take on the Cleveland Browns, or the Buffalo Bills battle the Chicago Bears, or Rick Meyer returns to Indy as the Seahawks face the Colts. The NFL on NBC.
Love to stay. Gotta run.
Well, hard to believe after what we've seen, but Humphries has his helmet on, and he's acting like he wants to come back in. The kickoff, Raiders lead 24-23. Jager sends it toward Andre Coleman. Around the head he goes and down at the 21, Rob Fredrickson, the rookie from Michigan State, with a tackle.
This is hard to believe. Look, he's snapping up his chin strap. He just told Gilbert, get back on the bench. This is my football team. Let's see how he runs out here.
Oh, boy, I don't know why you risk this. You've got a whole season ahead, and one more hit might really make this serious. That's why we're up here, where we're safe from making any calls. But Humphries, obviously wounded, takes over with his team down by 1. Cross to Means. Boy, the Raiders come alive on defense. Everyone to the ball. Jerry Ball, Rob Fredrickson, Derek Hoskins.
They run the lead sweep. Deems May 88 tries to get a block on Fredrickson. Can't. So Ronnie Harmon in there also tries to make a block. You're right. That was one half of the Raider defense on the tackle.
There's 20 left.
They should throw here. We'll see how Humphrey's leg holds up.
Underneath it goes to Means, breaking some tackles. Oh, there was only a couple of men left, and they weren't in the near picture as Means was able to shred away from a couple of Raiders. And he's out across the 30 to the 31, and that'll be enough for a first down.
Actually, Humphreys looks pretty good here. Setting up, it was his left leg. Well, he really didn't put weight on his left leg much, so he's getting away with it. But now,
and Means was looking for the big gainer. First down, Chargers at the 31. 5:35 left. The 1-point game. Means plowing to the 34. Fredrickson seeing a lot of duty, the rookie who was picked in the first round by the Raiders, number 53 now with Beaker. So two very young backers in there for the Raiders.
Beaker thought he was going to get cut last year. He was a special teamer. They get rid of Joe Kelly, and he's suddenly the starter. They don't mind putting young guys in key spots here. That's Greg battling Beaker.
Got a good right cross, they fellas. Second down and 6. The reverse to Sean Jefferson. Looking for a block. Down to the 38, and Humphreys out there trying to block on the reverse.
He hit Nolan Harrison. Wait a minute. They're going to give him a 60s number if he keeps doing this.
This is a Purple Heart play.
The enemy to Jefferson, a watch. Harrison's a big guy. And he put weight on that left leg. It's got to make, look, that's on his left leg, the one he apparently hurt. That's got to make Humphreys feel better. Maybe all right, he says.
Third and a long 2. Underneath to Harmon. Good move by Ronnie Harmon, and out to the 45, a first down. That's 3 times in this game. Harmon has caught a pass on third down to give the Chargers a new series of 4.
And Dick, you know what they're doing? They're leaving Harmon. Well, let's see if they do it here, but it seems to me that Harmon is making his presence felt. Well, he does go out the field, but he was in on several different plays there, so the Raiders can't pick up, are we going to run or pass? They got Means and Harmon. They have the option. Now it's Bieniemy and I think Means in there together.
Well, the Chargers from the 20-yard line, a couple of first downs have moved to their own 45. And Bieniemy, good balance. But all of that for only about a 3-yard gain as Hoskins and Washington in the Raiders secondary with the tackle.
Yeah, that was Bieniemy and Shannon Mitchell, the H-back that was in the backfield. Good patient drive here.
Now Harmon comes in. And one of the tight ends, Dwayne Young, goes out. So Means and Harmon in the backfield.
Now this puts a real problem there for the San Diego or the Raider defense. Do we defend the run or the pass here?
And timeout. And Humphrey. No, is it the Raiders that call a time?
Yeah.
Yes, and that means they have only 1 timeout left. In case you're wondering, San Diego with all 3 remaining. Time running out, a 1-point game.
Mitsubishi Motors presents Diamonds in the Rough. As an unheralded pick from tiny Kutztown State, this wide receiver didn't even rate a wide receiver's jersey number in his first training camp. Who is this diamond in the rough? He owns that distinction for the Super Bowl as well. Andre Reed, a true diamond in the rough.
A taste you can't turn.
Providing these aerial pictures, Goodyear blends travel over 100,000 miles every year, covering major sporting events. And the captain and co-pilot would like us to remind you of what's ahead tonight on NBC. Last year, they captivated viewers in one of the season's most gripping hours of television. Don't miss tonight. The mysterious aliens return to an all-new Sequest at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, here on NBC. 2nd and 7 at the Charger 48. good protection, goes to the sideline, complete to Sean Jefferson. Now it's Tony Martin with a catch on the sidelines, and it's good enough for a first down at the Raider 40.
Lionel Washington was the man on side 48. He's watching the quarterback again at zone. Just the deep hitch run by Martin.
Go, baby, let's go.
Humphrey still has the velocity on the ball, so every snap he takes, he probably feels a little more comfortable with that knee.
I can imagine that Stan Brock and others in that huddle saying, hey, let's not let him touch our quarterback now. Keep him upright. Natron Means only a yard as he's tripped up Greg Biekert, his 11th tackle in the game. He leads all the Raider hitters. Carney, his longest ever, 54 yards. This year he's not been challenged for any deep ones. Not many kickers are. In fact, we haven't had any 50-yard field goals because of the new rules change. And it's ticking down, 2:03 to the 2-minute timeout. A 1-point game. Chargers challenging.
We don't get it there by 11. We're shut out.
He's more than just a witness.
He saved Gregory's life.
I love you. Emmy winner Kelsey Grammer.
Oh my God.
A world premiere, The Innocent, NBC tonight.
Crowd of over 55,000 at the Coliseum treated Bob Trumpy to a very entertaining game.
Yeah, so we've seen a lot in this football game. Good special teams play on both sides. We've seen some turnovers, big hits, good runs, nice receptions. All you want in the game, and it's close.
And they're going to take away your doctor's degree again. There's Stan Humphries out there still wheeling and dealing.
Yeah, I guess the strength of these athletes nowadays surprises me so much that hits 20 years ago when I played, I mean, the guy would be on the surgical table tonight. But they can withstand so much punishment now because they work out 12 months a year. And that was a major hit by McLaughlin right on his knee. But he's got more guts than I thought he had.
Humphries takes him out of the huddle. Second down, a long 8 at the Raider 43. And another sack by the defense. Winston Moss, the linebacker, coming through untouched.
He comes right up the middle, too, Dick.
Timeout, San Diego.
Somebody missed him, and again, you don't want to point a finger at anybody, but they did the inside rush, and it looked like one guy, Kokozo, looked outside, and he didn't see the blitzer and Winston Moss free on Stan Humphries.
Humphries, who had only been sacked 2 times in the first 3 games, and that's the second against him today. Now 3rd and 14 from the 45-yard line. Looking ahead to next weekend, not only a great Sunday of NFL, but on Saturday, the tradition of Notre Dame football continues on NBC. A high-powered Stanford Cardinal offense will test the Irish in South Bend. And, of course, we'll see our old NBC buddy Bill Walsh and our friend from Notre Dame, Lou Holtz, matching wits at Stanford Notre Dame, presented by Champion Athletic Apparel, Saturday at 2:30 Eastern. That'll be 11:30 here in the West on NBC. 10th play of this drive for San Diego. It's at the 45 of the Raiders, out of John Carney's range. Humphries needs some yards. Harmon in motion. He's wide open for the catch. And whoa, is he ridden out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Stops the clock. 52 seconds left. 13-yard play. Not enough for the first down.
Oh, we've seen that before, though. The Chargers run a little legal pick play, run Ronnie Harmon out there in the flat.
Now this is interesting, Bob Trumpy. That brings up 4th down and about 1.5 yards at the 32. The spot would be around the 40. It would mean they'd ask Carney to kick a 50-yard field goal. Or do you go on 4th and 1.5 for a first down? Well, they're going to think about it. Trying to read the clock. The sun and the one and only scoreboard clock at the Coliseum is in such a position now off to the west that it's 1:51 left or 51 left. Kind of critical.
It's 1:51. We just had the 2-minute warning.
All right.
Well, this is a tough spot.
So they're going to call time, and the Chargers trying to decide. Well, this is why those coaches, no matter what he does here, is in a position to be second guess. All the Monday morning quarterbacks will say, If it doesn't work, that isn't what I would have done.
Yeah, right. But there is a good history here for Ralph Friesen, Bobby Ross, and the Chargers. They've had great success with Ronnie Harmon out of the backfield. It's very difficult to cover a receiver when you need just a yard and a half, maybe 2 yards for the first down. So the way they're talking more to Humphreys than they are to Sean Gilbert and the kicker John Carney. So I think they're going to give it a shot. Hey, they're 3-0.
I like quarterbacks too in this situation. It's a yard and a half. He's got his hands about 6 inches apart. Yeah. Only that much. We can make it.
Yeah, sure. Nothing to it. We can make it. Come on. But Ross has great confidence in this football team. They've responded. Every time he's asked them to do something, they've responded.
Well, they're going to go for it. They make it. They have a chance for the win. They don't, and it would appear the Raiders would be able to run out the clock and win the game. So this is a play with implications for the win.
Where's Ronnie Harmon?
Harmon with Sean Jefferson in motion. Over the middle. Complete to Harmon. There he is. That's where he is. How did he get there? Let's look at how Harmon found his way to be open again. Derek Hoskins made the tackle. 6 catches for Harmon, 4 first downs.
He goes outside, then inside as you watch the play unfold. And look, there's just a crowd of people there. Nobody does anything illegal from San Diego's side of the ball, but it's just mass confusion. Raiders can't really figure out who's what. And Harmon comes up with a first down reception.
Ticking away, 1:17 left. First down at the 24 of the Raiders. 24-23. It's Means dodging and darting and earning a yard. Natron has been well controlled by this Raider defense. That was Eddie Anderson coming up from safety to help out on the tackle. Means over 300 yards for the season at 289 coming in, but they've done a good job, and it's been key to the Raiders' performance today. 20 carries for number 20 Means, only 43 yards today.
They want to run this between the hash marks to keep it right in the middle of the field for Carter.
That's what the Raiders are looking for. Means a big hole, and he slides down near the 15-yard line. They're going to mark it at the 16. Beaker tripped it up, but it's 3rd down and 1.
Greg Beaker at the tackle. You see the offensive line again doing a great job. Shannon Mitchell leading, also Curtis Whitley doing a great job. This kid is a load, and now let the clock run down. Make sure that there are no. You save about 8 seconds here in case you got 2 snaps to do it.
And there it is. They call time. It'll be spotted about the 22-23-yard line. 32 or 33-yard attempt for John Carney, and this is why these kickers are well paid. Whenever they come in, it's all pressure, the whole game on the line.
He's got the earplugs, but what a gutty performance by Stan Humphreys.
Speaking of men who could perform for 50 years in this league, Joe Madrow passed away on Friday. He coached the Rams, he coached the Chargers, and he coached the Raiders, all 3 teams who have played home field here at the Coliseum. We sent along our best to the Joe Madrow family.
He was surrounded by Al Davis. He was surrounded by Chuck Noll, Jack Faulkner, with Sid Gilman as the head coach here for the L.A. Chargers when they first started in 1960.
All right, here it is. Carney with Gilbert holding from the 24. Just inside. It's officially a 33-yard attempt to win it for San Diego. They're going to ice him. The Raiders will use their final timeout.
And Andrew Glover, 87, the tight end, is in the ball game.
Watch him. See him there, 87, and about at the middle line there, middle linebacker position. He's the man, Glover, who played college basketball and is a championship triple jumper. He's 6'6", but won the conference triple jump championship twice and was a basketball starter as well. And what they do is they like to give him a running start and hope that he can time it perfectly and go up and block the shot.
Yeah, he even looks at where the kicker is and then looks around at the goalpost and tries to center himself where it appears the kicker is lining up to make the kick.
One of those situations where owners, players, and fans all focus on only one man who does one thing, and that's kick a football. If he kicks it straight, the Chargers are 4-0. with 3 wins on the road. If he doesn't, the Raiders are back into the 2-2. He kicked it straight. The Chargers doing cartwheels on the field, but there are 2 seconds remaining, so we will have a kickoff. 26-24 San Diego.
That was a beautiful spot to watch that entire thing, because you can see the snap by David Binn was perfect. The set down by Sean Gilbert was absolutely perfect. Even spun the laces out, and it was routine for John Carney.
And for these Chargers, who have been strangers for most of the country, not those in the West, as you see Carney deliver again, and there's Glover timing his leap a little too soon. And Carney hitting it straight down the middle. This is what the Chargers did to start the season in Denver.
Absolutely.
They were down and took the ball in the 4th quarter, a 10-minute march. And here they start with all the momentum on the Raiders side, the crowd cheering Los Angeles, and Humphries on a gimpy knee takes him from his own 20, marches him all the way down 65 yards, 7 minutes, and positions it for Carney to win it.
And they're 3 of their 4 wins on the road at Denver, on the road at Seattle, on the road at the Raiders.
In their division.
In their division.
And now Carney will just dribble one down into one of the up blockers and hope that'll take 2 seconds. I mean, how would you like to have a, well, they're all tough in this league, but William Stanley Humphries from Shreveport, Louisiana, has really distinguished himself today.
Yeah, that's a game ball if there's ever been a game ball. He's still limping. I mean, he might still have some damage in his knee here, but
got a bye week, all the teams in the West, which will be welcomed by most. This was a game with playoff excitement. And how about Ronnie Harmon's contribution as they skid one down, and now the time has run out. He'll take a return for a touchdown by Rocket Ismail, and look at it, he's getting free for a moment, still not down. What an effort, trying to lateral off. The game ends with an added flourish, and gimpy and all, Stan Humphries takes the winning ball to the locker room. The Chargers atop the West, the only AFC team unbeaten after today, 4-0. As Miami and Kansas City fell for the first time, San Diego all alone. We'll be right back.
Whose research developed a new technology?
And a presentation of NBC. Once again, the final score, San Diego 26, the Raiders 24. For our director, John Gonzalez, producer, John Ferratzis, Bob Trumpy, and Hannah Storm, I'm Dick Enberg saying so long from the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. This has been a presentation of NBC Sports in our 30th year of covering the NFL.
In a new world.
Dunked the Miami Dolphins. We'll flip through all the highlights and outstanding plays of Week 4 of the NFL. Plus, of course, we'll go live to a happy Charger locker room at the Coliseum. Join Gilbert and me next for all the action on